right, let's mute and come on video. There we go. So here we are for the second time today on Fireside for the new moon. I was guided to come on and offer oracle readings, full spectrum oracle readings. These can include mediumship, energy, and medical mediumship as well. I am just going to get on some music here and see if anybody joins me. It's going to be a short show if nobody joins me or wants a reading. I know it was short notice. I put this up less than an hour ago, but I figured, or I was guided to, just a lot of energy coming through to tap into and with. And hey, Vanessa. Hi. And Nancy, welcome, Nancy. Here we have people coming in. I'm getting some music going here. Here we go. I think this is the one I want to listen to. How is everybody? Happy new moon. Missed you at the live today, Vanessa. If that's the Vanessa. Yes, it is. Yeah, missed you at the live earlier today. Oh my goodness, that spirit walk was really amazing. Um, yeah. So if you haven't done it yet, um, this today's new moon spirit walk. All right, here comes the music. It's a slow. If you haven't done today's spirit walk for the new moon, and welcome, Bree. Uh, it was quite amazing. Very soul connecting. I don't want to give too much away. But yeah, it was very emotional. It was probably one of the hardest ones for me to try to keep it together as I was channeling, because it was so deep and intense and beautiful. And yeah. So for anybody who hasn't done it yet, please check out today's spirit daily spirit show for the new moon. I talked about the energies and everything surrounding it, and then we did oracle. I pulled 2 oracle cards um that were perfect, of course, and then the spirit walk. It was really awesome. But after that spirit walk, and welcome, Leticia. Oh my gosh, is that Leticia? Leticia? No way, Jose. Hello. After that spirit walk today, I was absolutely, now I'm going to get on Fireside on him. Well, let me see if I can see chat. Here we go. Happy new moon. Sorry for missing it. We'll catch it. Yeah, catch it tomorrow. Um, oh, that's a different Leticia. Okay, I was going to say, no way. Is she up right now? She's in, my client Leticia is in Austria. So surprised that it was her. I was like, wow. Uh, she was here earlier, and I was like, "You're here to get again now?" Is this time change for her is quite a lot, actually, from California to Austria. But anyway, but welcome, Leticia or Letitia. Like people pronounce that. I say oh, she even spells it different. Letitia. So you probably say Letitia. Um, I was seeing Leticia because I don't have my glasses on. Anyway, hello, Bree and Nancy, Vanessa. I think that's it here for now. But anyway, after that live earlier today with the spirit walk, I was just buzzing energetically and just in this kind of very I guess the best word is euphoric space, spiritually euphoric space, and really open and connecting. And it kept coming through about doing a show tonight for the new moon and to do some oracle readings. And now I'm doing them differently than I have in the past, in a few different ways, so we can get right to it since there's a few of you here. And that would be firstly, we could do this now for those of you who are here and plan to stay, whether to spectate or to possibly be chosen for a reading. if you are open to receiving a reading, if you could put a capital O in the chat. If you're not, put a capital X in the chat, and that way I will know who wants to receive a reading. Now, to receive a reading, I ask that you join me on stage with your video camera on, so everybody can see you and we can have a real conversation here about your through your reading. And then if you could read the description too as well. But the other thing that I am doing differently is I am opening it up to all of the abilities that I have. So in the past, I would just read Oracle, and I would get, information. But if there was stuff coming through that would be considered like mediumship, or me really tapping into people with my medical mediumship abilities, and then maybe even some channeling or to do some energy clearing and all of that, I wouldn't do that. We would just stop there at whatever was coming through with the Oracle. Now, and it always felt really kind of strange. So what I started doing is these, well, actually, this would be the second show officially, but in one of my other shows, I just let it go, let it flow. And it went from Oracle to mediumship, and energy and medical mediumship. So I kind of covered the spectrum in that reading. And it felt really, really good. And after that, I was guided to do what we're calling now is full spectrum. So much can come through. And these readings can really encompass quite a lot, as much as they can in an open forum. Sometimes things can be a little kind of, I don't know, uncomfortable, or kind of strange to get into publicly. But I find that people really do get a lot out of these. So, and then, oh, is she? Oh, is that Letitia? Now there she is. You see, I was just talking about you. I got confused with Letitia and then with your name, and I was like, oh, I can't believe you're here with the time change. And then you show up. Here you are. Wow, wow, wow. So welcome, welcome. Just going over here uh what these entail, what these readings entail. And so for those of you who are here, and uh if you can, so Vanessa put an O. I have people here who didn't say anything. Bree, Nancy, Letitia. Gosh, that's not going to mess me up at all. She is here. I know, it's hilarious. So put an X in the chat if you can. Put an X in the chat for if you're not open to receiving a reading, an O if you are. That just helps me if I could scan this and see, and also helps with engagement here. At the same time, I'm going to light some sage and Palo Santo. And speaking of which, when it comes to, no, nobody else in the chat. Okay. Alrighty. And to get into the chat, you just go react. You hit react, and then you can select an emoji, and then add a message is where you would type X or O. And like I said before, that's not an X. See, and there is my, if you don't pick an emoji, it'll just automatically put in a thumbs up, actually. So if you just go straight to typing, it'll just automatically, so you can pick your emoji, or it'll pick it for you with that thumbs up. And that's how you do it. And then when somebody has put something in the chat, because, oh wow, our storm is kicking up. Because above their head, see, above my head now, there's a little talk bubble, and it won't clear until, let's say, I put another emoji, but this time I don't put any words in. It will not give me the little bubble. So if that helps in figuring that out. I know it's not as straightforward. I mean, when I first started using this, I didn't understand where the chat was either. It took me forever to figure it out. So hopefully that's working. I know, Leticia, you've been having trouble with the chat. Oh, there's your O. Okay, you got it, girl. I know you were having trouble before, so if I guess I don't see you responding in the chat, I'm gonna assume that you don't want a reading, because you're not responding, I guess. I don't know how else to put that. That just, so I can just focus in on the people who are open to receive. And hello, Monk, welcome, welcome. So whew, let's do this. I'm gonna keep those over here. Let me grab some cards. Okay, I'm gonna grab all of these right here. Oh my goodness. Ugh. Okay. Got a stack here. Got a stack. Oh, and what happened to my music? Oh, that's right. I had to put it down. Which I don't like. So you know what? I'm just gonna keep checking. If I'll keep looking in the chat. But so far we have just Leticia and Vanessa who are open to getting readings. If that's not correct and you want a reading, please put a capital O in the chat so I know that you're open to receiving, or an X means that you're not, or if you just don't type anything, I assume that that means that you're not. And I'm not going to be, I know that I am simulcasting to YouTube right now, but I'm not going to be following the YouTube. I'm just going to be focused here on Fireside. And I have a few decks here. Oh wow, it's like the Lucy Cavendish collection here. We have the Wild Wisdom of the Fairy, the Oracle of the Dragon Fae, the Hidden World, and the Mermaid's Oracle, all by Lucy Cavendish. Those are, I think, complete my collection of Lucy Cavendish Oracle decks. And I picked them all up. And I'm going to put this down too. So yeah, I guess that's what we're going to be working with today. Our possibilities. So let me just see here. Yeah, it'll be these 4 decks. Do I have, okay, Mermaids, Hidden Worlds, Fairy, and there we go. Oh, okay. Well, also in the mix will be the unicorns. Let me grab the unicorns. Okay. The unicorns as well. So these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 decks. These 5 decks here. Alrighty. Oops. Oh yeah. That's what I said I was going to do. I am going to actually close this because I want to have some music on and that TV keeps turning off. So I'm going to actually close the chat here on the computer. And there we go. I mean, I can do Oracle and Astral channeled meditation spirit walks without music. It's so much better with music. And this is a really cool channel on YouTube. It's called Infinity Realm, no relation to me. It's spelled Infinity. The regular way you spell infinity. I spell my name with an I at the end. Infinity Realm, it has 20.1 subscribers and really, really great music to meditate to do plant medicine with in the bath or otherwise. I highly, highly, highly suggest it. Lots of really awesome tracks. And the one that I have on right now is called Ancestral Fire. Shamanic drumming, tribal, atmospheric, ambient music, deep dive, soundscape. And it's set, does he have this one? Yeah, this one is also set to the 432 hertz. So that's been kind of a theme lately with the 432 hertz. So, okay, here we go. Get these books out of the way. Hopefully you guys can hear that. If not, hopefully you can put it on for yourself at the same time, possibly. Leticia says, I just ordered that deck, the Unicorn. So excited to get it. It is an awesome, awesome deck. I love all my decks. I love them all. They're all magical. But yeah, very powerful deck. A lot of not only messages, but also meditations and light work, crystal work involved with the Unicorn Oracle, which is really, really cool. Okay. Okay, so let's start here. Let's start with one of my two ladies, the two people who are open to receiving Oracle messages, at least in this group right now. Maybe you all will change your mind. If you do, just go ahead and put a capital O in the chat. Leticia, let's have you come up and join me on stage to receive. Let me invite you to video. 1 second here. Things have been slow to get going or to respond on Fireside lately. So let's have some patience here, hopefully, as she gets connected. She says, yes, definitely. Also a theme for personally. Oh, theme for oh, good. Glad that works for you. Oh, here she comes. Let me see if I can do it again. And hello. Oops. There we go. Maybe. Let's give it a second before her video starts.
Hi. I'm wearing my pajamas. Hi.
Hi. That's okay. You look very cozy. There's my lady. Hi. It was so funny because Letitia came in earlier and I don't have my glasses on because the light, it just bugs me. And I thought it was you, and I was like, oh, is that you? I was like, well, you're here again because you were here earlier and you're in Austria and the time changed. So what time is it in Austria right now?
Yeah, it's 10 to 3 in the morning.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know, I've had a weird sleeping rhythm lately, so that's why.
No, that's no. I'm glad that it works out. It totally works out, doesn't it? Yeah, it's good. So it's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a few weeks, I guess. I don't know. Time has really flown by. I can't believe how fast time is flying by. It's wild.
Yeah,
but I'm so glad to see you and that you're here again today.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I mean, I can't see you really. You're frozen, but maybe it's.
Oh no, really?
Yeah,
It looks like it's moving to me. I want to make sure that I don't have any. No, I don't have anything else open. I usually close everything when I start shows.
I try something else because I have headphones that are connected via Bluetooth, and maybe that's doing something. One
Maybe. Yeah,
moment.
but I see us, but does anybody else see a glitch going on, or is it just her? Could just be you. But sometimes it's a little strange when we first get going. So I'm glad we're getting it figured out. I am going to I'm going to tap in here with these decks and see which one we're going to use for you, okay? While you get that connected.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Having a hard time.
It's still frozen. I don't
Still
know why.
frozen. Uh-oh. What's a
But I mean, I can hear you.
You can
That's
hear
good.
me? Okay, hopefully I'm not frozen for
Yeah.
everybody and you can hear me. Yeah, because you're moving around, I'm moving around, I can see me okay. Um, hopefully that's going on. What do we see? Can we get anybody in the gallery to tell us what's going on their end? Oh my goodness. And then I can't see the chat. See, this has been happening too. It's like I want to see the chat and it won't open up for me.
Okay, I will look at it.
Can you? Oh my gosh, that is so annoying.
I think it's just her. You both look normal, says Vanessa.
Oh, okay. So it is just
Okay.
whatever's going on. You can't see me. Thanks for reading that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still can't. The chat is still not opening for me. And if I have the chat open on my computer, I can't mute it. So I can't play music from my computer and have the chat open at the same time. So something's got to get figured out here pretty soon because this is kind of silly. But anyway, I'm glad you can hear me. Hopefully you'll be able to see me soon. And I hope I don't have a scary face that's frozen for you to look at.
No, it's not scary. Your eyes are closed actually, and yeah,
Oh, perfect.
you look beautiful.
I spend so much of my time with my eyes closed. I love it. Okay, well, that is hilarious. Okay, as long as I don't have some scary look on my face, that's better than that. Because I've seen my face frozen in some space in ways that I'm like, oh goodness. Or when I'm like fast forwarding through video, I'm like, oh my god, these faces I make. I hope nobody else can. I swear.
It's fine.
Okay, all right. So okay. Let's see here. Okay. Because there's a lot that's coming up here that like that it's kind of like hard. It's not meant for me to decide in the end. It's meant for you to decide. So if you want to hear from and not from and this is a pick from three different decks: the mermaids, the fairy, or the unicorns. Take your
The
time.
fairy.
The fairies, okay. Yeah, they were coming through strong. So were the unicorns and then the mermaids. I'm like, I can't right now. So I'm glad you pick for yourself. I love that. Okay, so the fairies, and that's this. It's a 6-pointed star. That's how that looks in the back of the deck for everybody. And who's that? Annette, welcome, Annette. And again, if anybody is open to receiving, to coming on stage with your video, receiving a full spectrum oracle reading from me, please put a capital O in the chat. And then this is the way the book looks. So the way that I do this is we will clear and shuffle the deck. I'm going to make sure that I have all the cards here because my cards have been flying around lately. Right. Yeah, okay. I wanted to make sure I had them all. So yeah, they're all here. Gonna clear. I'm actually gonna light some sage again and pass them through the sage to get them nice and clear. It has been a few days since we got a message from this deck. think it was last week. I can't remember exactly what day, but so to do that, I just light my sage and my Palo Santo, and it's always funny with sage. It's like it's hard to get going, and then it's hard to make it stop. It's At least that's what I experience a lot. Okay, and then I just take little bunches of cards at the same time, like up to maybe 6, 8, and then put them through the smoke to help clear the energy around them, and connected to them, and just get them nice and recharged to work with us. Okay. I'm so excited to do this. How fun.
Yeah, me
So
too.
very spontaneous. Like that's what I've decided to do, especially for this month when I have daily shows Monday through Friday. Everybody, you have not joined me if you can't make it to my live shows. 12 Pacific, Monday through Friday. Energy update, oracle reading, spirit walk, and they've been really, really quite amazing, if I do say so myself, which I can because I channel them. So I'm just a receiver and the messenger. I can say that about them.
Yeah, I
They've been
confirm.
really amazing.
I can confirm it's really awesome. These daily shows. Highly recommended.
Thank you, honey. Thank you. Yeah, the one from today got me. I was crying. It was really hard to keep
Yeah,
it
me
together.
too.
Yeah, it was
Me too.
really hard to keep it. I was so jealous of everybody else that could just be like, ah! And I could
Yeah,
not do
yeah,
that. I could not. I was
yeah,
just it was just like
yeah,
it was hard. It was hard. It was one of the hardest
yeah,
ones that I've ever been through to keep it together. Really, really tough one today. In all the great ways. I'm not complaining just because it was so beautiful. So, so beautiful. Like
yeah.
holy shit, wow kind of experience. And that off of yesterday. Yesterday was amazing. I channeled and we worked with Gaia, with Mother Earth Gaia herself, and she worked really deeply with us with so much energy and messages and love and support. And she gets me all emotional. But this today was on a whole other level, whole other level. So I'm glad you were there. For any of you who weren't there, who could not be there this afternoon, please go back and check it out. Okay, so fairies, the fairies. And I know because I have a personal relationship with you, Leticia, that you have a very special connection with the fairy, and how much you have connected with them in such beautiful ways. Um, so I definitely feel them coming through really, really strongly here. They love you so much. It's going to make me
Mm.
emotional. They love you so much. They want me to show you the flowers. This is for everybody, but they want me to share my flowers. And
Oh, I
please,
can
please.
see them, but it's
Oh, you can't see them. Oh, I'm
man.
sorry. Oh my goodness. Do you want to? Hey, yeah, I want you to be able to see me. See, Leticia, she can't see me right now, sweetie. Do you want to possibly do you want to
Go on the computer.
close it and come back, or do you want to watch on your computer? Can
Okay.
you do that?
Yeah. I tried that.
Yeah, try to
Just
if you
give
just
me a
have to
minute.
mute it on your computer so you can see. I forgot you couldn't see me.
Yeah. Okay, so how do
So
I
you go to fireside.com, I believe. Let me just firesidechat.com. This is for everybody. If you go, you can watch on the computer. You can even interact on the computer too. I think with just emojis though. Firesidechat.com/infinity. Just my name, all by itself. Will take you to my page and it'll automatically open up this live show that we're in right now. You don't even have to select it, is what I found, which is really cool. And then you should be able to watch. And that's what I can't have on because you can't The one thing about it is that you cannot mute it while it's on, so I can't do it myself because I want to have the music playing. Can't have everything sometimes, apparently. So did you get there?
Yeah, I just have to mute you. 1 moment. Now I can see you. Okay, so yeah,
Okay,
that's
so
a
look
great
at
solution.
yay. So here's the flowers.
Oh, beautiful.
They
Wow.
wanted me to show you the flowers.
Oh
I
my
know.
God.
Aren't they so pretty?
Oh my
They're
God.
so pretty.
Wow.
I know.
So beautiful
So
combination.
I know, just amazing. One thing is not there are the lilies, but that's okay. Right.
Oh
There's
yeah.
roses and all sorts of beautiful flowers here. Sunflowers are like another big time
Oh
favorite of mine.
yeah. Yeah,
Big
I
time
love them
favorite.
too.
Yeah, we have
So
them
beautiful.
growing like super tall on the side of our mountain right now. That's so beautiful. But anyway, there's flowers, and for everybody, please, if you don't already, buy yourself fresh cut flowers and keep them around all the time. Please think about doing that. You can pick up a $5, $10 fresh cut bouquet of flowers at your local grocery store, or you can get elaborate and go to your local flower shops, which I highly recommend that you do that. But however you can have and keep fresh cut flowers, at least one vase. I have three going right now, but at least one vase. And this will really help with your vibe, will really help with stabilizing your frequency, because there's so much of that nature Gaia energy coming through that you can connect to. And not only that, if you are into connecting with the fairies, they are all about flowers. So that's why as soon as I started talking about how much they love Leticia and their relationship, they said show her the flowers. So and they like to hang out around flowers. So there you go. So anyway, so they're saying that after a while of you kind of not being around, I guess you've been around more lately, they're saying. Is that right?
Um, I no, I mean, it's been in my mind that I want to work again with Brian Proud's Oracle deck. So
Okay.
I'm planning on to, but yeah, it's been just more practical in meditations or
Right.
but
No, they're
not
just
really
talking
working with
about
Oracle.
no, they were just talking about like generally, not necessarily the oracle, just being more
Okay.
into connecting with them than
Okay,
they're saying
yeah,
like yeah, not necessarily like
definitely. Okay,
yeah.
yeah, definitely doing energy work with them, and so yeah, really fun.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what they're saying. Because after a while of you kind of not being around, now you've really been coming around. That's what they're talking about and working with them. So, yeah. I mean, the oracle is a whole
Yeah.
other thing, but just the way that you connect
Okay,
with
yeah.
them and work with them. So, they're very excited about that. Very happy that you're doing that. And
Cool.
they're saying that there's a lot more adventures that are coming. Places that they want to show you to visit in astral and where they're going to take you, which is going to be really cool. I'm going to take this card here.
Hmm.
I seriously can't make this shit up. Gatekeeper,
Oh wow.
and it says fairy time shifts, and dimensional slips. So literally, we're talking
Oh
about you're
my
looking
God.
for fairies, and you get this card.
Oh my God, wow.
I told you they were coming through really, really strong about, being with you, working with you, adventuring with you, all that good stuff. And so here we are. Beautiful card. Let me show it to you again.
Cool.
So we have a big tree behind her with a door. She has a big sword. I believe she also has like a headdress or a crown. She has armor on. It's in the snow. Um, and there's just a bunch of trees everywhere. And there is the six-pointed star, the same type of six-pointed star on the door that is on the back of the card.
Mm-hmm.
See that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so let's get to card number 45. Card number 45, which is a 9. And I believe this is towards the back here, one of the last cards in the deck, which means kind of the way a lot of Oracle decks are designed is kind of like there's a progression to the cards and their numbers and their placement in decks. I don't know how else to put that. Doesn't mean one is more weighty than the other. It's just kind of how that goes. Not in all decks, and it's not just like a known thing, but it's just something that I've noticed. Okay, so anyway, let's get into this. Everyone, fairy time shifts, dimensional slips. In both ancient fairy lore and in the magical world of fairy, past, present, and future coexist and are fluid and transferable. There are unusual to most human ways of thinking exchanges between these dimensions of time and fairy, just as there are shifting qualities to fairy space, size, and shape. There are time travelers, shapeshifters, and space travelers. The most common view of time held by science until recently was that of Isaac Newton, of time being like a straight arrow shot forward from a bow. Time marches on, moving inexorably in one direction. We are born, we age, we die. Time in this view does not move to the left or the right, up or down, and certainly never in circles. But time indeed does move in a circle, in a spherical cycle, which, when it turns, does leave behind the mark of a line. But the line is not time itself. Most humans do not like this truth. They prefer to feel all that is measurable, divided up into neat units, moving in one direction and never changing within this world. It is, they say, a law. But the fairies prove this law to be a belief and nothing else. Oh, I love this so very much. You see, you too can break this arrow of time in your life by asking the gatekeeper if you can move beyond this law or belief and into the realm beyond. Time is not a one-way ride. And if you are prepared to live this way, then you will be more truthfully alive, magical, and experimental. This one is kind of long, just so you know. This is one of the longest ones. I've never gotten this card, I don't think, before, but it is pretty long. So we have the whole page that I just read and a whole other page,
Okay.
and then a little bit before we get to even the divination, which is also a lot in its own right. So sit tight, everybody. It's going to be worth it. I just want to prepare you for how much we have here, because it is quite a bit with this one, which doesn't surprise me. We're talking about time and realms. And like I said, the deeper you get into a deck, the deeper it usually gets. So, this is no new law. 'Tis no invention. Ancient shamans have known that ritual or ceremony time is a place where there is no past, no present, no future. There is only now. And most definitely, if you join me on my spirit walks, like the one we were talking about today, you will have definitely have felt that in that space. And how easily we can move through time and be in different dimensions through astral travel. And one thing that always is abundantly clear is when we do that type of work with ourselves, that the time that we experience here is very different from the time that we experience there and how it feels time-wise. So that's definitely also a thing, just sidebar. Okay. In Buddhism, in Tao, and in Hindu practice, time is not linear, but a circle. In the medicine wheel of the Hopi, time is a circle. In the wheel of the year, she is again a circle. And it is in this circle that you can find yourself able to time travel, to bend time, to move between what seem to be over and what you can recreate in the moment of now. The belief in time as a line has led us to feel we must control outcomes and destinations. But the acceptance of a cycle creates health, youth, beauty, joy, and uncertainty, which is a blessing. The cycle of time does not merely repeat, she repeats with endless variations. And thus, the fairies know and wish to teach us that if we approach this with perfect love and trust, there are infinite variations on what we call the past and the future and the now. For the door is perception, and consciousness rules your experience of time. And the gatekeeper will know if you are prepared to live this truth or if the wonder of it all will almost be too much for you. When we accept the truth of fairy time, people reappear in our lives so we can recreate and reshape the past. We may journey back to a place where we have been, and our future self can visit us. Seasons may pass in the blink of a blue green eye, and years of joy pass slowly. We may grow old without aging. We may stay young at heart and live way beyond the allotted life space of other version of time would have us believe in. We will feel the echoes, see the future, and indeed remember how it is meant to be, and then create it simply by remembering. This may make life surreal and mysterious, and there may be strange and odd occurrences. You may learn great secrets and fully be in the present, but you will always, once this doorway has been walked through, be in the time of now, in magic time, in fairy time. Oh my goodness, I love that so much. Uh, yeah, okay. And divinatory meanings. You can shape your own time, create portals between past and present, allow the now to be more effective and magical, revisit the past, and do over when the gatekeeper arrives. Watches and clocks may no longer work for you. Timers go off at strange times. There may be visitations from people you have yet to meet, and you may recreate your past in the dimension experienced when sleeping. Going to fairy mounds and sacred places, stone circles where trees grow in a circle within a fairy ring, may accelerate this process. You will see ghosts and understand the future and stay well amidst it all, through it all. For it is not chaos but truth, and it is not unreality but more real, more wondrous than any dream. Understand that the concept of linear time is irrelevant to the question you currently seek to answer to. Foretelling is coming to you as you tap into a source outside of the linear time itself. Understanding that time is a landscape and where you choose to place your attention creates the concept and experience you are currently having. Dream time of the Aboriginal peoples of Australia is all time and no time, a beginning, life ending, and recreation occurring simultaneously. We too can dream and be without time pressures we currently believe we need to experience. Some say that when we break through to the fifth world in the future, we will no longer have this current time belief and we will change the and all will change and flow. Once upon a time will be now and forever, and we will be one with our ancestors, past, companions, present, and generations of the future. We will speak and dream and share together. Oh my goodness. Okay. Wow. So this one is certainly heavy and big, isn't it? And I know it resonates with you.
So much.
Yeah. I know that it does. So I'm just gonna let you, share maybe, what you feel for that before I get into stuff, because I could just go off in different directions. And if you want to share something about that, well, actually, let me stop you there because this is supposed to be an oracle reading. So hold on a second. Um, like I said earlier, the fairy, well, I think everybody in general is happy that you're kind of back. And definitely the fairy and you have this such a uh, it's like this playful serious thing, and that's kind of their way, but you so lean into it, so you so welcome it, and it doesn't confuse you, because time does have a lot to do with that, and seeing things differently and warping things, and playing in that realm. um they're saying, you've been asking questions and here's your answer, and that should make sense to you. it you didn't ask us a question, we didn't talk about that, but they're saying that you've been asking questions, and I think maybe it does have to do with time and timing and places and where you are and things like that. And they're saying this is your answer to understand that probably one of the next things for you to really dive into is all of this that has to do with time and timing and your place in time and moving through time and being a time traveler, and all of that, like it talks about here. Is this lining up for you?
Yeah, yeah, it makes sense on a lot of levels. Also, with what you've mentioned a couple of days ago with this quantum entanglement,
Mm-hmm.
I see it also here. And I mean, my experience until now with energy work and with the fairies was like moving to different locations, but not really moving through time. So, and that's really something I'm curious about and excited. So it really resonates with me.
Good. Yeah, because I mean, I wrote something really similar to this, not having even seen this before. And this was weeks ago when I talked about, and I can't remember what article it was, but I did talk about um, how like this whole thing of things lasting forever or being really short, and experiencing and working with time in that way, really playing with time, really working with the powers that be, if you will, with the universe, with and within dimensions that really lengthens time for us when we need it to be that way, and really shortens time when we need it to be that way. You and I have talked about this for a while now. When you want things to move quickly, time can move quickly for you if you're working with time, and if you want time to stretch out. So example would be, you're traveling, you're going from car to plane to train to to hotel, and that whole stretch, you can work with time to really make that short, even if it's supposed to be a long journey. And then when you get to your vacation, you can work with time to really make that stretch out, and make the days and the hours really really stretch out for you, so it is and it feels like it went by nice and slowly. So those are just a couple examples of that. And I know that you played with that, right, Leticia? You're all, I
Mm.
can tell.
It sounds fantastic. It sounds really awesome.
Yeah, and
Um,
the illusion that time is like that, a day is 24 hours, that every second is measured by the same time, is not true, and that once the past was the past, or once it's done, that we can't revisit it. And this goes to show you, like when I talk about us doing, let's say, like spirit walks for full moons or eclipses or new moons or whatever they may be, that that if you go to do that again months or years later, you are and have always been as though you did that spirit walk at the time that it was first done, that it first happened, because time and energy, or energy doesn't know anything about time because it is circular. It's all happening at the same time. So it's not like aware of things being more powerful in this point in time versus that point in time. It's all the same thing. This is a perfect way to really kind of anchor that into our reality for people to understand, would be the feeling and the experience of post traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. And what people are experiencing there is the energy of whatever trauma event that happened, like it just happened. And it is because they are tapping in to the energy that was when it first happened. It's not any less than when it did. And whatever however they're connected to that, that's how they feel it. Like it is exactly happening again, or just like it happened before. That is a way to kind of perceive what I'm talking about, in a way that we can anchor it for our understanding until you start experiencing it yourself, if you do. But like this card says, once you step through this gate, really in a way where it's talking about here to really work with energy and dimensions and with the realms that we have, and the fairy are different than any other, because of the nature of what we're talking about here. We're talking about another dimension where there are actual living beings in bodies, um, having their own like world, but it's superimposed with upon Gaia. So there's a veil, a curtain of dimension between us, but we're cohabitating upon this beautiful planet at the same time, upon Gaia. They have a different reality than we do. And but I should say, but there are some humans that are very much energetically charged, either from incarnations of being a fairy, which is definitely possible, or other connections that we have, and just energetically to be able uh, to be with them. I'm going to mute my music really quick so I can so I can see the chat, because I think there's been some chat here that I just can't see. Maybe not. Okay, Vanessa says, I work with time like that all the time. It's amazing. Good. Okay, there we go. All right. So I'm going to close this back up. So yeah, it's a bummer you can't mute the live on here. Like once it gets going, it is what it is. So anyway, so I think for the most part with you would be a couple of things, love. Is one is whatever you've been thinking about and wondering about time, or the timing of things, or how long things will take, or what will happen, or any of this, because that's what's coming up that you've been thinking a lot about. Is this, and you may, do you have this deck?
No,
No, you don't.
it's
Okay, so
from Lucy
that's okay.
Cavendish.
Yeah, it is the Lucy Cavendish one. Yep, it is one of hers. But that's okay. I want you to listen back to it, and I can take pictures and send you the guidebooks. You can read again for yourself to kind of let that soak in.
Perfect. Thank you.
Into this idea of of letting go of the programming that time is linear, that you're in this, kind of train ride of time, because that's not true. That's all that this talked about, is our perception of time is what's not actually real. And because our perception of time isn't the truth, isn't real, then that puts us at a disadvantage to work with time
Mm.
and in the way that is real and to your best advantage. Now, you being somebody who is so connected, so powerful, so psychic, so energy absorbent and pliable, and all of the things that that I know about you because you're my client. um but this thing about time and this program with time is something that um is like, definitely the next thing on the to-do list of reframing for you. Does
Definitely,
that
yeah.
does that
Hmm.
sound right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So instead of time being, a pressure or, something to get in front of, or, really thinking, there's so many ways there's like I'm being shown, like, how long will this take? And when will this happen? And there's just so much. And that kind of comes into play when, you're the planning side of you wants an agenda and wants to, you know, put things on a calendar and have this linear life. But I'm so sorry to tell you, you don't have a linear life, my dear. You don't,
Yeah.
right? You know this, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I just have to internalize it.
Yeah. I mean,
Really. Hmm.
you have instead of the one line, you have many lines. and and that is available for everybody, of course. It just, there's a lot that needs to be sorted out to get there. And with her, this is definitely, she has done so much healing and so much connection and connecting and so much work, and she's so committed to herself and her journey and her place in this world, and she takes it so seriously, as do I. We take it so seriously, and sometimes the pressure of all that we feel that we need to do and create and what needs to come through us and how it's going to happen, and then life happens and things come in to that takes us into different directions, as you found, are great and feel good. But then we go, wait a minute, what about that thing that I'm so pumped to do? And what about that thing and that thing? And how's that all going to work out? And what do I need to figure out and control? And how do I need to make, rein it all in? And da 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 da. And then you start like, right? Does this sound like what you've been experiencing?
Yeah, definitely. For a while now.
Yeah. Okay. Um, so this is a time right now, and for the next, well, you're going to be part of the soul quest. So that's 9 weeks. So what's coming through about all of this is, let's put all of those questions on the shelf until after the soul quest and see where we're at then, because that's the point of all this, daily meetings and spirit walks and working with ourselves, and you being up in the middle of the night, you're adjusting, and a lot of us are readjusting and getting on board with what's to come, whether you're going to be part of the soul quest, anybody here, or not. There is a time period that's coming that's going to be very introspective, and while we want to move forward and we want things to happen and we want to accomplish things and we want to get on with things, um sometimes we need to understand that it's just that our idea of time and what we thought we wanted or we think is right is different than what is best for us and what we need and what the collective needs, and to have some detachment over your own beingness and production and need to create and to schedule and to plan and to do all of that stuff that is very 3D. That's very 3D mentality. When we're working in the higher realms of spirituality, like you are, it doesn't work. That's why I said to her, your life isn't linear. It just isn't. It's really, she's tapped into a place that doesn't work like that anymore. And she's just neat. It's like that computer, it's like that robot's like, but I still am like tapping like that computer, like, and you're like going this way and going that way, and you're trying to assimilate what you know and what you've known. The new understanding of life and the old understanding of life is kind of the crux of spiritual awakening that just keeps unfolding on itself over and over again as we go through these different thresholds. This is very specifically called the gatekeeper. And I think I was talking about the gate. I think I brought up the gatekeeper in the last few days when it came to another oracle or something. I know that I did. I just can't remember right now. But it's a
I know. I remember you just mentioned it in association with the coyote as
was that it?
the spirit animal. Yeah, being gatekeeper.
Yeah, you're right. That was just today.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, there's time for you. I'm like, I don't know. It was literally hours ago. I'm like, this is sounding so familiar. The shit that came out of my mouth literally hours ago. Oh my God. Yes, I was when we got the where is that card? Where did I put it? Because I still had it out. But it was a coyote card from today's oracle pull. One of the cards that we got was that. And you're right, that did come up. So it's a threshold. It's like, okay, when we're having a hard time through our spiritual awakening in deleting an old construct or program and assimilating our consciousness to a new way of thinking, it ironically takes time. It really does. It takes some time, and we need to kind of, when we realize like, oh, I'm in a swirly life, not a straight line life, and I've tapped into that, and I work with that, and I work with different dimensions, and I communicate with different beings, and I am on a soul mission and destiny kind of level, and I tap in and I work with myself in all of these different ways. Your reality isn't like it used to be anymore when it comes to even time and planning and scheduling and what you do with yourself and all of that. I mean, this is really the crux of why the Soul Quest program came to be in the first place, because I was realizing, oh, I'm in a big time riptide, if you will. And that came through more and more through December and January for me, as I was channeling and receiving and downloading so much. It was really intense. And I knew that things were going to be shifting and changing in ways that whatever was like planned and scheduled was going to be eliminated, and things were going to be restructured. And from there, the question arose, because everything is being restructured, this is your opportunity to figure out what it is you're meant to do. What do you want? And what does your soul want before planning and making moves beyond that? And like I told you, in the middle of February, all this started coming through. Like, we have questions to answer, so we know what we're doing next and how to plan. And because we're in the swirly thing, it's telling us you're not meant to really move forward. You're meant to move deeper. And not try to, get out of that before you're done in the swirl of going deeper with yourself, like today's spirit walk really talked about. in
Mm-hmm.
what we experienced in that spirit walk today. So again, what I say to you, my sweet love, is that to put all the questions about time and planning and scheduling and what you're doing with yourself and what life is to be and all of this stuff, because you're so serious about things, and recognize that your seriousness about things can be channeled into this other space, and nothing is going anywhere without you. Time is not getting away from you. It's working with you, and all the questions can be put on the shelf, and they're not going anywhere, and they will be answered through you, organically, spiritually, mystically, um, lovingly, when you say, I surrender to not knowing and not needing the answers to all of this, because the most important thing is for me to find out exactly what I need to, what's all going on in here with me, with my soul. What do I want? What does my soul want? What are we meant to really do right now? I've created a space where I can ask those questions. And you have, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can just go, this is my job for the next 9 weeks, is this, because this is going to get me everywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like, I created it for me, for you, for us, for all of us, that it came through. Like, before you think about what's to come and what changes I need to make in 2023, you need to answer the question, what do you want? What does
Mm-hmm.
your soul want? Like, what is not the nothing of the to-do list or what you think you should be doing, or none of it really. It's that, and that is so important. And to literally like take yourself through that doorway, that magical doorway,
Mm-hmm.
and just letting whatever and however the magic unfolds for you, because the questions will be answered, you know, they will be. They absolutely will be, and you'll have more clarity, you'll be more connected, you'll be more powerful than ever, because you'll be so much more soul connected. And between that beautiful divine union of you, your identity, your personality, your own dreams and wishes in alignment. See, this is where it starts to get really kind of hairy and precarious, and the incline gets really like vertical. Like, we go from like this to like, oh my God, it's vertical. When the closer we, the more we get to like, oh wow, like life can really, like I can really align, like do some amazing things with myself when I tap into really what I'm meant to do here. But I feel like that can go in a million different directions. And I know you get that too. I know a lot of us get that too. Get that. Like, I can go in so many different directions with whatever. What am I meant? So, what am I supposed to do? What am I meant to do? If I could do this, if I could do that, if I could do this, if I could do that, if I could do this, if I could do that. You're like, ah. And then it's like, then you get overwhelmed, and then you get stressed, and then you're like, I don't know, maybe I'm confused, maybe I shouldn't. And then like all of this stuff comes through, because it's like that's your understanding of yourself, your ability, your connections, your experience, your wisdom, your knowledge, and you can see yourself in all of these timelines. And then it becomes a web of confusion, because which one do you go, how, because you're forced to go back into your human body and go, yeah, but there is just the one of me, I only have so many hours in a day. How, and that is real. So how do I do this? What do I do? What are the answers to the questions, so I get what I need? Like, what do I do? What do I want? Like, so we circle back to giving ourselves the time and the space to answer those questions, to recognize what's all within us and connected to us. Every body that we have, spiritual, the physical, the mental, the emotional, the energetic, the abundant, the abundant body. All of these bodies, or what's better known as the etheric body, we've renamed it the abundant body. um, they all have a piece of the puzzle. And as we go through layer by layer, we'll get pieces to put all together in the end to see this beautiful tapestry that equals you, your soul, what needs attention, what needs to be honored and revered and celebrated, what needs to be let go, what needs to be healed, all the things. And again, back to it, just if you can think about, like, what does it do for you to think about letting go of all of the question answering and the scheduling for 9 weeks? How does that make you feel?
More calm and peaceful, actually, really, because I've been really conflicted, wanting to, move forward, but not exactly being able, because I also noticed that I need to focus on something else and go deeper within. So, yeah, that was really challenging, and to have that outlook now is really calming.
Good. That's fantastic. I'm so glad, because that is exactly, I could feel it in you. I was like, oh, she's like gone, oh yeah, that's that's what's on the menu, and I'm gonna order that because that sounds really good to me right now. I'm just gonna take big old bites of that, because now you're free, right? It's like freedom, it's liberation.
Yeah.
You're free.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because there was so much. There was like this, like it just kept getting. I could feel like this tighter, 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 tighter. Like time is running out. Like a bomb was gonna go off or something, because you need to. You needed to. It's like, but that's, again, that's that construct of time that, so this is just a little lesson here in your own, the way, liberating yourself from that construct of linear time and the box. There is no box, and it doesn't, there is no line, there is no box, there is just you. And what you're meant to do is to go, again, not go out, but go in, go deeper. And 9 weeks goes by really fast, really, really fast. And just see that as like that's the work you need to do. That's the schedule you need to adhere to. What's your schedule? Your schedule is the Soul Quest program. That's your schedule. And there you go. Very simple. It's all you got to do from this point forward. And then so much you'll come out, so see it as, going in and going deep, and letting that just be the way you do life for these next couple months. Sound
That
good?
sounds awesome.
Yay. Yeah, it does sound awesome. I love it.
And relieving.
What?
And relieving.
And
like
relieving.
A relief.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm so, it's like that constriction, like the bomb there. I was like, what? Oh, no bomb. You're not gonna blow up. Oh, now you can breathe. Like everything's fine. Like, oh, like we just did that. Like, boom, done. And definitely this message from the fairies, of this gatekeeper card of fairy time, and all of this going on for you, helping bring that through.
So cool.
But again, just let that be kind of the thing that you let kind of soak in, is the way that you perceive yourself in time, and what you think you have to do, and how you think you have to do it. And kind of see that as like, oh no, that's old me programming. New me programming doesn't go by that. New me programming goes by how I'm being guided, and how I'm being, what's coming through, and all of that. I'm telling you, it's not easy, because that's what that's how I have to be. I can schedule so much, and but not too much, because I flow with energy. And how, look at what we're doing here today. This wasn't planned, but this is what I was guided to do. So then here we are. And there's enough capacity and space that I have been guided to over the years to leave open for the waves to come in and to go with them, and to go, well, I had that planned, but all right, we're going to do this instead. And my attachment to anything that's on the schedule is loosey goosey, baby. Loosey. And you know that. It's loosey goosey, because I know how things happen and change and shift. And if my attachment to anything in time is silliness. And I've come to understand that I cannot be attached to anything in time, whether it's a person, a place, a situation, or whatever. The fluidity of everything, and how, we jump from thing to thing as the energies come through, is the beautiful dance of life, that is almost like, if there's too much that you're attached to of a schedule, it's like a ball and chain, and it keeps you from jumping from thing to thing energetically. And that's when, especially as we're meant to be in that space energetically, that's when we start to feel really heavy and disconnected, and we start to have physical issues and all sorts of stuff, because we're tethered we're tethered to a construct that isn't in alignment with our frequency and the waves of energy that are coming through for us to be connected to. So it's like, if you can imagine, like you're literally anchored, like, say, the ocean. And if you were not anchored, you could just swim with the tide and you could be fine, because you're a great swimmer. But when you're anchored and all these waves are coming, what's going to happen? You're going to fucking drown. That's what's going to happen. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And how have you been feeling lately? Like you're drowning?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because your mind is saying, I need structure, I need schedule, I need plans. And the energy is going, no, you do not. That's not the way it works. It's not where you're meant to be, and your energy is meant to be. And you're like, it's not going to feel right. It's going to be really, really difficult. And it becomes more and more difficult when you're like, okay, well, is it here? Is it there? Do I plan this or plan that? And you can't land or stick on anything. It's because you're in a swirl. And your 3D mind and experience is going, I should be able to do this and to figure this out. But your spiritual body is understanding that in the swirl, there's times where that is like, it's like trying to, paint an oil painting in a hurricane. Like, what are you doing? Like, that doesn't make any sense. It's not gonna turn out great there, because it's not the energy and what's happening. It just doesn't equal 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2 now. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
it's not something that's gonna ever be done, is what I'm getting at. This way of being is a big piece of the pie once you get to where you are with things. And it's about reformatting how we attach ourselves to time and everything in it, so we don't drown, so we flow how we're meant to flow. And we don't say, we're not in control of that. The energy is in control of that. Our soul is in control. There's a lot in play here that's in real control of that. If we're in alignment with where we're meant to be, then we'll just flow with it. We won't be like tripped up. We won't be in doubt. We won't be afraid. We won't be like, well, what about this? We won't be asking questions and, oh my God, and what about this? And like, we'll be like, oh, okay, we're just going to go, all right, like, that's just what it's going to be now. And there's a real freedom in that. even though, sure, for planning, sometimes it's a little difficult, sometimes more difficult than others, but the things that actually are meant to be anchored in your world will be. Example, anchored in my world right now, daily shows, the program coming up. And that's basically it. And whatever else comes through there, it's been opened up in a lot of ways. And you can look at this for yourself. What's anchored in to definitely be part of your schedule? Look at that, where there is no question. It is what this is what's anchored in that feels good. Then there's no question to it. Do you see what I'm getting at? Does that make sense? So for you, it would also be the Soul Quest program, because that's what you're going to do. You're doing that. So that's anchored in. And when you think about it, you're like, oh yeah, but that's not, to me, that's not like, something that I wonder about or whatever. It's anchored in, and that feels right. So it's not to say that our lives are just always going to be these, like, nothing is ever scheduled, because that's not true either. What I'm saying is that what is anchored in is really meant to be there, but also that there's a fluidity to it, and that we need to keep things open for ourselves just as we move forward, is basically what I'm getting at. So you don't drown in the constricting of time and schedules and plans, when, as spiritual beings, we don't go by the calendar. We don't, we have to as humans, because there's certain things, and that's the way we connect. We need to know what time things are happening, right? We need to have things on a schedule so we can plan for things. But as you know, with working with me, that's also fluid. As far what I was taught as I came into this beingness and understanding of schedules and time, and the fluidity of energy, and not forcing things and letting things go, and all of that business, is, unless it's a plane or a train or a boat that you have scheduled to be on, and even if that is the case and you're still pulled away from that, that's okay. But most things can be altered and changed and shifted to adjust accordingly. And we have a lot more control there with things, hopefully, in our lives, than not, to be able to move things around, and not put ourselves into and be in situations that are, very, very uncomfortable, like it was for you. It was uncomfortable to be locked into a schedule of a job, and you understood, I can't be locked into this job in this schedule, because it is detrimental to me energetically and spiritually, and where I'm supposed to be going with myself. So what did you do? You took the steps, and now, how long has it been now? Like a full month, a little over a month since you were gone from the job?
Yeah. Oh my God. My phone will die. Yeah, but it's been no, hopefully not. Okay.
You got it.
Okay, I'm fine. Whew. And my laptop is on. Oh my God. Yeah, but it's been like over a month now, because it's been mid of February when I left there. So
like 5 weeks or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, so basically what I'm saying is that, your own, yourself, your soul, the energy, everything that you're supposed to be anchored to in time, what is meant to be that way, will feel a certain way and will feel differently when not. And then you will make those changes to not be anchored to that type of structure. And slowly but surely, that's just kind of been where you're going. This, when you're anchored into a 3D job and schedule, and got to wake up at this time, got to leave at that time, got to have this, then it lunches at this time, we get off work at this time, that's, you're locked in. You're fully locked in. So how could you possibly, get to this threshold about time when you've been locked into a whole other framework, up until just a few weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're having to reformat, your way of being. And So, it didn't feel good to be all locked in, but then you find yourself all loosey goosey and going, oh, where am I going? What's happening? And, and then going, oh, I want that structure back. I need to have that structure. So you're trying to plan and schedule, and then you're finding this isn't working. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and this is why, but there's a reason why it hasn't been working. It's because it's not, that's not, you're in a transitional period of understanding yourself in time where you're meant to be in time. Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like I said, just let that, just know, like, oh, I'm like pulling this out and inserting this, it's a real shift mentally.
Yeah.
That, again, ironically, takes a little time. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're so welcome. I hope that, or I know, I could tell you're like, oh, okay. So now just you have, and it's not just me telling you, that, it feels right, right? Doesn't that feel right to just say, I don't need to answer those questions right now, and it doesn't make sense to try?
Yeah, I could feel it in my body, literally.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. And later on, I will send you a picture of this card, and
Thank
I'll take
you.
pictures of the book so you can read again for yourself what this said, because it was a lot. This one was really, really deep when it comes to all this time business and realms and ourselves and everything. So thanks for being here, for joining me on stage.
Thank you so much for everything.
You're welcome. I love you, and I'm so glad that I didn't know you were going through all of this, because we're kind of taking a hiatus with, what we're, how we're working together. So, but because of the, what's coming up with the Soul Quest program. So everything is good. Everything is good. Okay. Deep breath, chill out, and just go on this quest for the next 9 weeks. Just let time just ease you into it, and just spend the next couple weeks just organizing, cleaning the house, like not thinking about anything else than getting the space nice and clear. Because I know that's part of what you wanted to schedule. So make it the entire schedule.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
There you go. Yay! Okay, good. All right, love. Well, I'm going to see who else wants a reading, as I know we've been here for a long time. And thanks everybody for being here, for being a part, for holding space as we go through all this. I know it's been a lot, and it's kind of like on another level with all this time stuff. But I hope it's inspired you to think of yourself in places and time and energy and frequency in a different way as well. So are you going to stick around? Are you gonna go to bed?
No, I'm not tired. I'm gonna stick around.
Okay, wonderful. I'm glad you're gonna stick around. I love you. You know that I do.
I love you too.
Oh, thank you, honey. Okay, so let's kick her off stage. Bye, lady. I'm done with you. Till next time. Let's see if we can do this. But yeah, my controls for Fireside lately have been a bit challenging. There we go. Let's see if that works. There we go. Yay! We're okay. So she's gone. Thank you, love. You know I love you. I'm so glad we got to do that today. That was really fun. Let's see. I'm going to. Oh yeah. Let me see the chat. Okay, so let's do this one more time. Because we're gonna do another. Oh my. Stop that. Oh, it ended. That's what happened to the music. It ended. I'm like, what happened to my music? Let's do this one more time, everybody. If you would like, Marianne, Thomas, Pamela, I don't know who's all here. So we have Letitia, Pamela, Vanessa, Laura, Annette, Ashley, yay! Letitia, Bree and Nancy, everybody here. I'm going to pick another song here from Infinity Realms. Ooh, this one here. Ancient Warriors. I like this one. And if anybody is open to a reading, please put a capital O in the chat. And you just do that by hitting react. And then where it says add message, you can just type in there. Your screen will open up. Your what's it called? Keyboard. Your keyboard will open up. And if you're open to receive an oracle reading to come up on stage and be on camera with me, please put the O. I can't even think. I promise I get it together when we're in a reading. But yeah, I'm gonna. Gosh, this is so annoying. I can't see the chat. Cannot see the chat. Okay, so I'm guessing nobody else here is into getting a reading coming up on stage with me. So we're I'm just gonna check one more time. Is everybody just so shy? What's going on? Nobody wants a reading? Yeah, so I'm guessing that's the answer is no. Okay, so we have observers. That's cool. Oh, Laura. Okay, very cool. Laura. Okay, maybe I'll give it a minute. Maybe this thing is being slow. I can be impatient. It's been known to happen. So yeah, I just want to tap in with the people who want a reading, who want to join me up on stage to get an oracle card pull and just see what comes up. Could involve mediumship, medical mediumship, energy, tapping into your energy, whatever. I don't know. Whatever comes up, I do all the things. But I don't want to, tap in and start pulling from people who are not interested. So I know that Vanessa is, I know that Laura is now. I'm going to give it another minute and see if anybody else wants to receive a reading. And I do require that you do come on stage and join me on stage with your video on if you do want a reading. So one more time, if you want a reading, please put a capital O, and this is all in the description too, that I asked for this. So put an X if you don't, and I assume that if you're not answering that you don't. But if you do want a reading, if you want to be possibly selected for a reading, put a capital O. So the O is for open, the X is for closed. No, I don't want messages from my spirit guides. Or a circle means yes, I do. I'm open. I'm going to receive. Very simple. Very, very simple. Okay, so I'm going to leave this right here. Light some more sage. Okay. All right. Clear some air in here. There we go. I'm going to turn. Okay, so we don't have any more takers as far as people wanting readings. So thanks for just being here and watching, you guys. I appreciate that. I understand if you don't want a reading, you don't have to have a reading. But it's cool that you're here and observing and being a participant in that way. And with that said, we are going to, I'm going to light my candles again. That one went out. Really like to have candles lit when I do this. Any type of this woo-woo business. Go. candles. All right. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to Laura next, and then after Laura will be Vanessa, and then we'll be done. Okay, for the night. So Laura, so I figured we'll kind of split it up here with people that I know, with people that I don't know. So I don't know Laura. I did know, obviously, my client Leticia. So we'll invite Laura to video, and then we'll close it out with my dear Vanessa. So I hope you understand, my dear. Sit tight. There we go.
Hi.
Hi, Laura. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
Good. I'm going to close my Fireside because I have this problem with trying to see the chat on Fireside when I'm on here. It'll just open and close, open and close. So I can't read anything. So I have to look online, but then I get an echo.
Oh,
So it's
I
just,
was
yeah.
hearing, I had to log out and log back in because I was hearing an echo as well. It was like I could hear two versions of your video going on at the same time.
Oh, interesting. Well, that was just happening for the last couple seconds. So maybe
Oh,
that's what you were hearing because I did have them both open. But now I've closed that one and I'm just got mute. I just started a new track for music. There we go. So Laura, where are you from? Where are you nice and cozy at? What part of the world?
Northern California.
Northern California. Okay, I'm in Southern California.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are we both experiencing the same storm in different ways, probably?
Yes. It's pouring and really, really windy.
Yep, that's what's here. It's been real. We got a little bit of snow earlier overnight, about a foot, and I'm in the mountains, and then yeah, a lot of rain, a lot of wind and rain. But I love this. I really do. I'm embracing all the water. We need it. We definitely need it.
Yes, we do.
Okay. Excuse me. Excuse me. Um. Let's see. Let me bring these over here. So, have you ever had an oracle reading before, Laura?
No, I haven't.
Ooh, fun. Are you familiar with oracle?
No.
Oracle cards. Okay.
Oh,
So sorry.
no.
Hold on one second. Really need to clear my throat. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so oracle cards are similar to tarot, but they're all different kinds. So let me just, because I know you just came in, so let me just show you the ones that we have available that we're gonna possibly work with. So, for example, these are just a few of my oracle decks. So we have, this is what this deck looks like. It is the Magic of the Unicorns deck, and then it comes with a guidebook.
Hmm.
So they're thematic. This one is the Oracle of the Mermaids, and this is what they look like, that the back of the cards. This one is the Dragons, the Dragon Fae Oracle. So each one, and this is the Hidden Worlds, and so that's the back of those cards, and then this is the Hidden Worlds, and then I have shamanic ones and all sorts of different ones. These are the ones that I've been guided to pull out for today. I think we're retiring the fairies for now. We worked with the fairies through Leticia for a long time, so these other decks, the unicorns, the mermaids, the dragons, and the hidden worlds, are what I'm gonna focus in on and get it guided to work and pull for you. But each of them, like I said, they have those different themes. Each deck does. So no two oracle decks are alike versus tarot. They are, well, some tarot decks of people have done variation on tarot, but for the most part, tarot decks are what they are. They're four suits and they have meanings that mean certain things, and it's very much like that. But there's also a lot of room for interpretation with the tarot. And as a reader of both, I find that when working with people, for the most part, when it comes to being clear about messages and what you need to know, that the oracle is just easy across the board. So it's not me like knowing a language that you don't know and I'm interpreting for you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And great. So that's why I love the oracle. And anybody can, you don't have to be somebody psychic to work with oracle. You can be guided to, there's just, I don't even know. There's probably as many oracle decks as there are podcasts in the world at this point. But you can be guided and work with them for yourself, and they will always give you exactly what you need, which is really quite magical and amazing. Okay,
Awesome.
so with that said, the way that I do these readings is just being guided to what deck, because they're all kind of have their different messages and different themes and what may need to come for you, through for you. And I don't in these ones that I do anymore, kind of open it up to you asking a question. It's really more of, this is like truly a shaman circle of your guides and guardians and what needs to come down and be given to you, and for you just to receive. And they know you, they know your life, they know what's going on, so it's not like, they're unaware by any stretch of the imagination. So I'm just going to take a minute here to tap in to see what deck we're going to use with you. Okay, and we're going to go in with the mermaids. The Oracle of the Mermaids is where we're going, and that is this deck again. Take a look at that. So really, it just was very clear, very from the very beginning here, to get into the Mermaids Oracle with you, tapping in with the energies of the mermaids and everything that they're connected to: sea life, the oceans, fluidity, and all their good stuff. So let's get into it. Do you have a special affinity for mermaids, Laura? Do you like
No, for the water I do.
for the water? Okay, maybe that's what's coming through here. Okay, here we go. It'll take a minute. The Selkie and her skin, reclaiming your authenticity. Card number 25. So we have, excuse me, so we have this mermaid and the beautiful little, this, and the seals, all these seals. She's on the shore there. And the message here, reclaiming your authenticity, card number 25. So let's read. This is what we do. We get into it, we read. Hopefully this one isn't that long. Nope, this one isn't that long. I know, I've got the same thing going on. I got a major frog in my throat. I hate that. Okay. Whew, okay, so on page number 99, the mermaids sang, to receive this card is to receive a message from the most wise and kind of mermaids, that you who are now reading this must return to the form of which you are, in which you are free. That's kind of a lot in one sentence. So I'm going to read it again. To receive this card is to receive a message from the most wise and kind of mermaids, that you who are now reading this must return to the form in which you are free. Because the tale of the Selkie is that of a creature who has been captured, who has had their deep wildness tamed, who has in some ways fallen into an amnesic state simply in order to deal with the loss. It seems that if you remember all that has been taken from you, your heart could break and you could die. The Silkies is the story for all of us who have forgotten our strength, our freedom, our right to choose again and again, our delight in life. The Selkie story speaks very deeply of the divine feminine and the innate need for women to be free in choosing who to be with, to be free even in raising their children, to have sisters to dance with, and to worship beneath the moon. It speaks of the crime of seeking to possess and to capture anything that is free, and of keeping us from the element of water, from our womb sanctity, from our emotional watery selves, to keep us on land rather than in the flow. It is true that this love of the feminine brings bounty and balance, fortune and favor to men as well as women. We are all robbed if she is stolen from us. Likewise, we are all liberated when she is sovereign and made sacred. Okay, and then divination. If this card has come to you, it is time to dance, to be free, and to join with groups of women who wish to simply be free to dance under the moonlight, free of dogma and even of political correctness. A time without children, without relationships, and without other couples around you. The joys of being single or of being free. A time to leave family and partners for a while, to claim your sea skin back. Choose safe environments. Do not trust people who come to you at this time and want to take care of you, in quotes. This may be code for wishing to capture you. Go to a place where you're among your own gender, where you can be nurtured by contact with your own kind. Find a sacred place to visit and commit to a regular time out in that safe haven. It is now time for you to support and encourage the freedom of other humans and creatures. When we do this, our own freedom becomes more natural to us. Make a donation for seal conservation. Do not support practices or companies that benefit from the seal hunts that still take place. Visit the lands of Selkie lore and legend, the Orkney Isles in the far south of Scotland, Iceland, and Scandinavia's Northern Ireland and her cold seas, or travel in visions, past life memories, and dreams, and set your Selkie self free. Okay, my dear, so that's all of it. So let's see what else comes out here for you. When I was reading this part of being single, of free, of being on your own kind of thing, I definitely felt a resonance here for you. So what's coming through is, was there a long period of, let's say, attachment, and now there's a detachment for you, like a freedom, a separation, or something where you're not connected to somebody or that sort of thing anymore?
Yes, in a roundabout way, yes.
Okay. Is it one of those, it's complicated?
Well, no, it's just kind of, it's, I had lost my ex-husband. We had this roundabout back and forth over the years, for many, many years. And so I've been single for a long time. And then just recently met an amazing person and just started a new relationship several months ago. But I just lost my ex-husband last year. So we've had this long term. So I'm not sure if that's what it is. We've had this many, 35-year relationship that now is completely over. We were still friends, but it's completely over now because he's passed. So I'm not sure if
Right.
that's what you're referring to, maybe?
Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely a long standing relationship, whether,
Yeah.
whatever it said on paper, there was this long standing relationship that you
Yes,
guys had.
absolutely.
Yeah. And this, and like it very much spoke of it, there's like the void there, and that doesn't have anything to do with this other person that you met. This is a
Sure.
completely
Yeah,
separate thing. um
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, very separate thing. And so really speaking to this, so in your case, when it comes to this card, this is about this relationship where um no matter what transition you've had with it, it was never over. And then now that he's passed, that's the feeling that you get, this over feeling.
Yeah.
And but that you don't, you maybe this is obvious, don't want it to be over, that there's this, again, that void, that like wanting to pick up the phone and talk to him, but you can't, like
Yeah.
those type of things.
Yeah.
And then you're like having to deal with the reality that you can't, that he's not going to pick up the phone. But okay, so your connection with him was very much beyond just regular romantic love, for
Yeah.
sure, for
Yeah.
sure, for sure. That was like the natural progression of things. But I think what I'm seeing here is like this understanding that, oh, we're beyond that. That's, and we're, the meant to be together doesn't have to be because of romantic love,
Yeah.
that
We
sort of
were
thing.
great friends.
Yeah, there's like a
Yeah.
real deep soul connection there, really deep
Yeah.
soul connection. The kind of soul connection, oh, I'm getting chills. The kind of soul connection that is repeated. Soulmates. Yeah, soulmates, soul family, soul family. I mean, it's just another way to say it. We have many soulmates.
Yeah.
We have a lot of soul family. You guys were definitely soul family. It was like, and experiencing life um together made life, not 100% of the time, but most of the time, easier, because you had each other,
Yeah.
and what you created together was magical. I'm getting it was magical what you created together. Whatever it
Yeah.
was, I'm getting that it was a lot that you created together, and very magical, from people to structures and real estate and companies and whatever's all there. Very, very bright and light and beautiful, because of that connection that you have together. And so this is kind of where things can take a turn here, at least for me, in these things, because I am also a medium. But what's coming through very, very clearly is that your idea of over is something that very much can be dismantled, in the sense of, no, you can't pick up the phone and dial his number. He's not on speed dial or whatever for him to pick up the phone. But what is now can even be better than that, because of your soul connection, and him still being, now he's transitioned into being able to be a guardian to you in a way that um, he really couldn't in life at all. None of them can, none of us can. What we can do once we've crossed over, and how we can be there for our loved ones, is a whole different deal than when we're incarnate, when we're still in body. We have our own life and our own humanity to deal with. So, um, if anything, this confinement is like kind of the reverse of this, which is really interesting. It is in a sense like being confined, but it's being confined to this, to kind of and I'm also getting, sorry, I'm like interrupting myself, but I'm also getting that from you. There's also been this kind of like, it's over, but it's not over. I know you're gone, but you're not gone. Is that,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
good, good, because that's right and that's true. That's absolutely right and true. It's a transition. It's not an ending. It's a new beginning. Can you hear me okay? Because I feel like I can see I'm glitching.
No, I can hear you clearly.
Okay, perfect.
Mhm.
So, so this is where it kind of all, because it has been, it's still pretty new since he passed over, but it's enough time has passed to where kind of the shock and the real intense grief has kind of dissipated a little bit, and now it's kind of like, okay, it's not so much sadness that he's gone, but it's now it's being able to come in that he's not gone. Have you been dreaming about him? Does he just pop into your head? Like, what's,
No, I
have
think
you,
about him all the time, but yeah, no, I haven't, like he hasn't come to me in my sleep. I haven't felt him around. It's just kind of, he's gone, but I do think about him often and think, wow, it's not as painful as it was at the beginning, but it's like, wow, it's wow, you're not here. Like you
right,
said, wanted to pick up the phone or, call for
right,
certain things or whatever, that realization just kind of hits you over and over.
over and over and over again? Yeah, for sure. That's, I think, the hardest part, is
Yeah.
that it's like a slap in the face again and again and
Yeah.
again and again that you have to contend with. No, I totally get it. Um, but at this point, it's kind of like, um, it's like if you've been, grieving in bed with the curtains drawn and it's like you're just like, I'm in this. It's like now is when like the curtains kind of opening up and there's some light coming in.
Mhm.
And I think your perception is shifting, and because he is with you, and very it's a really kind of uh delicate time when we lose our loved ones and we're in grief, because they naturally kind of keep their distance more, because if they were to come in too close to you, it would be disruptive, is the best way I can put it. And
Okay.
right around the 6 month mark is usually when, if there is that like window of opening, I can't even say, there isn't any way to like quantify it, but it just seems to be a thing that I've experienced again and again with people. And that is kind of like the I guess you could say, the tap on the window or the little knock on the door, like that you could barely hear, but but you're like, wait a second, what is that? Kind of thing. And it's just like, or a little like pebble at the window, kind of. It's not a knock on the door that's like, I'm here, but it's more. And so what I'm getting at here is, everything happens for a reason. I'm here tonight, you're here tonight, we're talking about this tonight, it's for a reason. And what's coming through very, very clearly is the, I guess the best word would be invitation. There's an invitation to you to open up, to be able to feel and communicate and talk to and receive from your from from him. um and if you want that,
Okay.
is kind of, if you're ready for that. If you're not ready for that, that's okay too. Maybe you need some more time just to think about it. he's very much there, but he's like a little, kind of out. He's not in the room. He's right outside the door. Let's put it that way. That's the
Okay.
best way I can put it. He's respecting your space.
Gotcha.
If you want, I can tap in and we can talk with him right now. That's totally up to you because he's
Yeah.
there. Okay.
Yeah, I would love that if you could. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so yeah, so he's showing me how he's um he's they okay. He's saying that, like, I'm sorry, like, that I what happened with me was such a downer for your new relationship. He's showing me how, like, there was this, like, instead of, basically he's saying, like, instead of you just being able to have this new relationship without, just being a normal new relationship, that there was this whole theme of him and what happened with him that was something to deal with. And so these things kind of coinciding. And so he's just saying, not that he could really control it, but he's just saying, I'm aware of that. And I continue to, um, I support that so much. And he's happy for you. He wants to give you the space that you need, to move on. So he's, like I said, he stayed, like, outside the doors. Um, did you guys have, like, he's showing me it's so funny because the earlier messages and stuff is about time and things being scheduled and stuff. But did you two have kind of something on the books that was like, this is when we get together, this is when we talk, or this is when we hang, or something like that? Was there something like that with you two?
No, not anything on a regular, not on a regular thing, but we had a
Okay.
project we were scheduling together.
Okay, because he's showing me, like, or maybe it's just, he's showing me the two of you, like, sitting down and having coffee and, like, talking about stuff, but that this was something that reoccurred. Like, this is something that happened. It could be attached to that, but anyway, it's like, the moral of the story is, when it comes to you possibly connecting with him in the future on your own, that you can have this, kind of sacred space and time, like, this is when we do this. If that makes sense, to be like, so Sunday afternoons, I'm going to make a pot of tea and I'm going to sit and then I'm going to talk to you, like, you, Laura, being like, I'm going to talk to you and I'm going to know that you're going to be there, like, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Is what he's showing me. And he says that seems like that, like, is in alignment with something. Is that something that you would like? Let's say he was still alive, would you be like, okay, we're gonna talk, or we're gonna whatever, and we're gonna set up a time to talk, and then I'm gonna have all, my tea, and, like, it just, he's showing me, like, this is the kind of thing that you would do in the past. Does that make sense?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
Yeah, we
uh,
didn't ever really plan time to talk or,
oh, okay, because there's something about this, like, um but that's okay. But if anything, for now, though, this may help you with kind of, the act of that communication, to really set it up for yourself ahead of time,
yeah,
like, to be like, okay,
yeah.
that's the day I'm gonna do it. This is, I'm gonna, and whatever may feel good to you, taking a walk first, or taking a bath first, or really getting into just thinking about him, and connecting with him. He's saying, wherever that is, that you, whenever that is, um, imagine that I'm sitting there across from you and that you're talking to me, because I will be. Uh, And I guess there's, have you felt kind of, I guess, stuck with making some particular decisions, maybe about the project or other stuff that
Yeah.
you're like, well, if you were here, I would have these answers, or I could
Oh, for
figure this
sure.
out.
Absolutely. 100%. Yeah.
Okay, so if you're open to having this like meeting time with him, and maybe that's really what more that he's showing me more for future than what you did in the past, of setting this up with you, because you guys, you are I mean, when he was still here, you guys were like telepathic. You could feel each other, right? Like you were very, very connected, very, very
Yeah.
close.
I
Yeah,
could find him. I could find him at the end of the earth. I always knew where he was. It was
yeah.
really weird. I had a very strange connection. I didn't have to know where he was to know where he was.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm getting that. Is very, very strong. And he is really committed to to you. He's very committed to you. Just like your souls are committed to each other. I guess that's the best way to put it. Your souls are just interlocked with each other. And and he said he's making it clear that like I'm still with you. We're still like that project. I know that it's like had to be, certain aspects had to be put on hold or whatever, just because of everything that shifted, because he was gone now.
Yeah.
And he's showing me like the wheels are starting to turn again, but it's like in what direction is maybe where you are not sure. And yeah, he's making it very clear that spending time together and talking to him as though he's here, as though you would talk to him about even the logistics of stuff, whatever that it may be, talking it out and just being open to receive his. He will talk to you. He will
Okay.
talk to you, and
Awesome.
you will feel him and hear him. You'll, like you hear his voice. I think now you've been hearing his voice, but it may seem like when he come, when you think of him, or when remember his voice, or there's this something about his voice, it's more in the past tense, or that's your perception of it, where now it needs to shift, that his voice, his resonance, his frequency, his energy, his love for you, and the connection that you have together, it's really, really beautiful, is very much alive, very much something that you can work with and tap into and feel and have a relationship with in a very different way than you used to. Like the logistics of it is different than it was before, but in many ways, like I said earlier, it can be so much stronger because of where he is, his awareness, and how he can work, how he can help you from, excuse me, from that place of awareness, from being on the other side, is not anything that we can understand on this side. And through that, I mean, that goes for all of our guides and guardians, all of our soulmates on both sides of the veil. Their understanding of us and our lives and what's going on within their level of perception and awareness in the different mechanics that are in play with the world and time and us and our stories and all of this, all of the things, come from such a different place of understanding than we can ever possibly be privy to here, just from our, unless we do meditation and get all into the business like I do, or like we do around here. But when you can start working, what I'm getting at is that just like start kind of seeing what the positives are here. Yes, you can't look at his body, you can't hug him or touch him or kiss him, and those are the downsides, of course, but there's real positives to having and continue a relationship with, especially a soulmate like you have with him, because he's like showing me like a golden egg or a golden ticket. He's like, I have the answers. I know what's coming. I know, and I can guide you, step by step. So you feel that I'm with you. So you know that I'm with you, and you're not afraid to take steps, and you're not wondering. You'll know that from under my perception and me sharing that with you, how much I guess secure is a word, like things that are can feel very secure and stable in whatever decisions that you have to make, because literally they'll be coming from this higher place in his connection to the whole thing in a very, very special way that
Awesome.
is, yeah, super beautiful and unique and lovely, just absolutely lovely. And I see you really um yeah, laughing with him and joking with him, and the ability to that you already have had the psychic connection, the telepathic connection, the way that not everybody has this with other people, but like he thinks a thing and you see the picture. You guys were doing that before, right? So the
Yes.
same thing will happen now, the exact same thing. And that's not typical. That's a very special, thing. So that
Mm,
exact same thing can continue to happen. He will, and you'll see that. So you could talk and he'll send you information in a way that you'll understand. And then also
okay.
telling me again about his voice. So
Gotcha.
maybe you went through a period where you didn't want to remember his voice. It was hard for you to remember his voice, or if you know what I mean, that like that
Yeah.
can be hard, if you hear his, and so it's like, okay, try to transition that into you want to hear his voice. And it's not about the past and when he was alive, it's about now and hearing his voice is still very much alive and strong. And he wants you to know, like, he's very content and very happy. He feels really, really good and strong. Um, and uh he is mm, he's showing me places he's like, all the places that we talked about, I wanted to go, or we stuff like that, and I didn't get to, and you've been thinking about how I didn't get to those places. He's like, I'm getting to those places. Like he's visiting those places, whatever that means. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's showing me that. He's like, make sure she understands that. Like I didn't like nothing really for me. He's showing me like a road that continued, not a road that ended, in a very, very clear
Cool.
way. Yeah, in a very, yeah,
Yeah.
very cool. Very cool. Do you have any questions or anything else like for right now, or any questions for him or anything?
No, I think that's cool. I'll just, try to reach out to him and have some communication time with him and look for that guidance on the project.
Yeah, there you go. And I would suggest take a notebook with you, and just a la Tyler Henry, he's got that notebook when he's, communicating, and he's just writing stuff down or whatever, just what we call automatic writing. Whatever comes, just write it down, and as it hits you, whether it's visions or symbols or whatever, just to kind of help keep it contained for you to review. It's a really good thing to do. Um but yeah, you have the connection, so it's just tapping in, really.
Gotcha.
And yeah, and that's it, because it's a really strong love bond that the two of you have together. So
Awesome.
yeah,
Yeah,
it is
thank you.
really
I
powerful.
appreciate that.
You're very welcome, Laura. And hold on. He's showing me this new relationship that you have. um and he's very much like, he's very happy, he's very supportive. He's saying, Um, have like, okay, so I don't know if this is too personal, that's fine. Is just let me
No,
know.
that's okay.
Okay.
I'm
Because
pretty
these
much
like,
an open book.
okay, because it's like the lives, it's like, oh geez, like we're not in private right now. So I try to respect privacy, but basically he's showing me like um there's some aspect of you that is, I guess, holding back in this relationship, this new relationship. Um, and he's kind of saying, well, this whole, like he said at the very beginning, he said this at the very beginning, I'm sorry that this whole thing, this whole drama with me affected, your romance. And he means that in a really, really sincere way, a very sincere way. Like, all right, that sucks. And I'm sorry, like that had to be a part of it. But at the same time, he's saying like, how he's just very happy with this man, very happy with this person in your life, and very supportive of it. And he kind of like this whole thing, like I know you're it's such a weird thing, because he's like, I know you're holding back a little bit. There's something there with you that you're holding back, and we don't have to get into specifics, but there's this like, I'm gonna not let my feelings or my dreams or my hopes or my heart move too quickly. I'm going to be tempered in this, regimented in this relationship. And he is saying, I just want to push her in the pool. like, like the pool is this new man in the relation. He's like, I just want to push her in, and because you're trying, like you're walking on the edge. You're like, I'm here, but I'm not like diving in. And he's like, I know you, I know what you're doing, and you need to stop doing that. Like, is
Yeah.
this resonating?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he says, please just think about, just, I can't push you in the pool. And if I was there, I would say certain things to you, but just if you can just his wish is that you dive in the pool on your
Okay.
own, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And whatever things that you've been holding back, it's time to let go, and just really, because this is, and he's showing me, he's like, this is another soulmate for you.
Wow.
And you're not used to that. You're not used to this soulmate,
Mhm.
not that soulmate. Right. And don't waste any time. Go for it. Just let yourself just really, because you're safe there. You're very safe there with this person. And he's like, me, I wouldn't, put my stamp of approval on anybody, but
Yeah.
you're very fortunate, Laura, to have first him and now this new person, because you're resonant, your magnetism to soulmates who are really good for you is really awesome. Not
Gotcha.
everybody has that, I mean that. It's really, really beautiful. And he's just um yeah, and he's like, God, he's being so good and so patient, this man. He goes, man, is he patient. He's like, he is just like sitting there going, I'm just gonna wait here, and she's gonna, come around. And he's showing me him just like sitting there, just like, I'm just gonna like wait. Like, that's his energy. And he's like, man, he's patient. Just look at him waiting for you. And he's like, don't make him wait much, just don't make him wait. So I hope that all makes sense, because he's very, very adamant about that as well. So these two relationships that you have with your soulmates, so very beautiful. And just so you know, everybody, what's coming through and the energies that have been coming through, what I've been talking about, and why I'm doing I do daily shows, the daily spirit shows, and why I'm doing my Soul Quest program, is, well, there's a lot there, but one of the things that is taking place for us, for people that are, empaths, for people that are, spiritually connected and awakening and going through the spiritual renaissance of your own, whatever that may mean, is that our psychic abilities, our abilities to feel energy within people, the abilities to magnetize and have, relationships with our soulmates, to be more psychic, to be our own medium and our own psych. So anyway, what I'm saying for you is, you kind of stepping up for yourself in this way, just um have the understanding that your development psychically is growing and evolving, and be open to that. So whatever you've already experienced spiritually, metaphysically, energetically, which you have, that there's a blossoming taking place, and this love of your life that's on the other side is going to be a great teacher for you in this, and help you with your development in these ways, because of
Awesome.
your connection, just working with him, and then things are going to grow from there. So that's very, very exciting. So I hope that you come around at another time in the future and let us know like how it's all going, because I know it's really, really beautiful what you're all connected to, Laura. Really,
Oh,
it
thank
truly
you.
is.
Thank you. And I'm new to the Fireside app, so definitely I will be back again. I just stumbled on you tonight, which was super exciting. So I'm trying to figure out how to explore through this app and how to, find people that I've participated or watched in their things. And so it's still really new to me, but it's I'm glad that I found it.
I'm glad that you found it too. And yeah, there is, you can follow people and you can go into your own, like where you participated, so you could be able to find me there, and kind of, and go back. And if you wanted to watch this again, you can go ahead and watch this again in the replay too.
Awesome.
But I'm glad you're here. And just so you know, and everybody here, I do have shows through the end of the month,
Okay.
at 12 Pacific. It's called the Daily Spirit Show, where I do an energy update and then do a general oracle reading, and then I facilitate a channeled spirit walk astral meditation. And we've been doing that since the 13th. So everybody, of course,
Awesome.
is invited to that. I'd love for you to join.
It's daily at
Yeah,
12?
Monday through Friday,
Awesome.
at 12 noon Pacific through the end of the month.
Awesome. Yeah,
And yeah, so come if you can.
I
And
will.
definitely everybody, anybody who's looking to get further and deeper with yourself, with your soul, with your spirituality, I do have the Soul Quest program starting in April. You can get all the information about that on my website. And there's also, if you do go into my profile, one of the, I think it was like 3 shows ago, I did a whole show about the Soul Quest program.
Okay.
So you can go ahead if you're interested, and anybody's interested,
Yes, I'll look that up. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, it was
Awesome.
so great meeting you, Laura. Thank you for
Thank you.
being
You
guided.
too. You too. Thanks for
Really
sharing with
awesome.
me tonight. I really appreciate that.
You're very, very welcome. So nice meeting you and connecting to
Yeah.
your to I never even, well, Michael kept coming through, but I wasn't sure what's his name.
Steve.
Your Steve. Okay, I'm not sure why. I just kept hearing Mike, but I'm like, I don't think that's it. But names don't really, I don't know. Names aren't a big
Yeah.
deal for me. So, but anyway, I'm glad that I could connect you with Steve, and congratulations on all of that, and your new love.
Thank you.
And I do hope that you dive in, because it's a
Thank you. Thank you so
great.
much. You have a good night.
You're welcome.
All
Bye.
right.
Bye
Bye bye.
bye. Okay, everybody, that was fun. I really enjoyed that. Let's help Laura get off the stage here if this thing is going to. It's saying poor network quality. It has been acting very buggy lately, that is for sure. Let's just give it a minute here. Sorry, sweetie, hang tight. It's taking a minute. There we go. I'm going to remove you from stage. Yeah, it's been very laggy and buggy lately, but there we go. There she goes, everybody. Let's give her a round of applause. Thank you so much for joining me on stage, Laura. I'm going to drink some tea. It got me warm. That got me very, 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 very warm. Okay. Like I promised, my dear Vanessa, that you would be next. So, Vanessa, and thanks so much to everybody else who's joined me here for these readings. This is one of my favorite things to do. I used to do them just like exclusively on YouTube and Instagram, and for the most part, just through text. But I much rather see people and have them join me on video. So much better for everybody. So I'm going to invite you to video, my dear Vanessa, if it will work for me.
Hello.
Hi, love.
Long time no see. Well, you haven't seen me in a
I
while.
have not seen you in a while. How are you?
Good. Tired.
I know it's late. Thank you so much for staying up late with me.
Yes, of course.
I appreciate it, my love. So you know the drill. This is Vanessa. She's one of my Evolve Now program clients, although she's been out of program for a while now.
Still under recovery.
What'd you say?
Still under recovery.
Still under recovery. You're so funny. You're so funny. Yeah, so but it's been a while. It's been a hot minute since you were in that in your program. Gosh, when did that program end? Back in
At the end, at like towards like in the beginning of June. But I will say that it was such a massive transformation for me that it took a couple of months for me to just adjust to my new me, which is amazing. And then just trying to figure out where I'm standing. So it's been quite a roller coaster, but yeah.
Yeah, well, like I told you after your program, I made the basic program automatically 2 months longer without the option of it not being that anymore. So you're the last person that came through the Evolve Now program who had that short of a program because it's like, okay, no more. Because once those couple months, 3 months go by, then you know you kind of are, this chick fresh out of the egg. And
yes.
Yeah. And you don't even have any feathers and you look pathetic and you can't do shit. You're like,
That's funny.
Yeah. And I'm like, it's really good to stay on this track, but everybody, I also believe that it's all like whatever it is exactly what it's, meant to be. And
it was exactly. Yeah, it was perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know that too, but just saying, now that's not an option. The smallest, the shortest program is 4 months, and that's like the short version at this point because of how things go. But anyhow, you had an amazing arc and transformation, and everything that you processed, and who you came in the who that you started and the who that you ended and the who that you are now are
completely
such different people.
Yeah. If anyone's really interested in truly transforming yourself, I highly recommend the Evolve Now program. Seriously, it's a miracle work for sure.
Oh, thank you, honey. Yeah, and I'm also with healing, chronic illness, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Pains, and that's how people usually come to me. Really, really not doing well physically, aside from spiritually and everything else. So we get into all of that, and it's awesome. So full disclosure here, I do know Vanessa very intimately. However, we've been loosely connected since she ended her program. She does participate when she's into participating, I guess is the best way to put it. Sometimes you're there, sometimes you're not, but we haven't had a an intimate, daily relationship for quite some time. But even though we do know each other, obviously know each other very, very well. Okay, so my dear, let's get into it so we can get right to business. for us in the fun stuff here. Gonna tap in with everything here and see where we're gonna go. Okay, it's none of these.
Oh,
Hold the phone. It's
wow.
none of
The
these
dragons
decks.
don't want to talk to
Yeah,
me?
I guess not. I know you were expecting it, but it's like, nope, it's none of those. It's gonna be, I know. Tell me about it. Let me grab this deck that doesn't come out very often, but that's the one for you, my dear. So 1 second here. Where is it? Where are you? There you are. Ooh, 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 ooh. Stop. Okay. Good Lord. Of course, it's at the very bottom. I found the book before I found the cards, which is the opposite way that it usually is. But here we are. Okay, my love.
No way.
This
Is
is
that
the
the
deck.
divine?
This is the Divine Feminine Oracle deck, and this is what the deck looks like, everybody. The Divine Feminine egg there. And why did you laugh?
Because I have that deck, and it's you're right. Like it only calls you when it wants to speak to you. Like it's very rare. So I was
Right.
kind of shocked that.
Yeah. That is my experience with this deck, is that it's very specific, and it's quiet, and then boom, loud. And that's exactly what happened here. It blew out of the water all the other decks. This is a really powerful, and I find that I find that's the case with decks that are just have this kind of this is what, and there's another deck that I have, but this is, I think, the one that's the most like this, because I think the essence of what it is, there's actual ascended masters and goddesses and amazing divine feminines connected to this oracle. When one of them steps up and has a specific message, that is like, nothing is louder. So they will be quiet unless they got something to say. So they got something to say. Let's see what it is. It's usually pretty deep, no matter what it is. That's one thing for sure. This isn't one of those decks, like I said so earlier, like they ramp up. This is like all the way through. Hardcore all the way through. I am going to do some clearing here with this deck. First, with the Sage and the Palo Santo. What time is it? Okay. Wow, it did get late. Holy moly. Wow. Guys in there having fun when they're channeling and doing mediumship and reading cards and all this fun stuff. This is, again, Happy New Moon, everybody. Happy New Moon. A whole new, all the new stuff coming in, just taking us into April and everything that we're going to do for April. Super excited. Two of the people that have registered for this program, for the Soul Quest program, is Leticia and Vanessa, my two past clients that are with us now. Diving in to work with us, as we talked about when Leticia was up here. Vanessa also joining and going to be part of that program, which I'm super stoked about. Really,
because we're never done healing.
Because we're never done, ever.
You think you're done, and then it's like, oh, that's bothering me. Okay.
Yeah, that's a mistake that many of us make very early on. We think we're done because we feel so much better. We're like, woohoo, I did it, I'm healed. And then you're like, well, you just got the shit off of the surface and that feels fantastic, but there's a lot going on under there that needs to be looked at. And especially if we're really serious about, who we are as incarnates and what we're meant to do here in these lives, we have to go deep, 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 and get all soul connected and stuff. I can't wait for you to do that spirit walk from today. You have to send me a message, Vanessa, and let me know about it. But you
I
did do
will.
yesterday's?
I did. Yeah. I was there for the
Okay,
live.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right. That's right. That's right. You were there. Okay. Good. Whoopsie. Okay, let's take a second here. It's all nice and clear. Oh wow, this is really strong.
I hope it's good.
No, it's good. It's good. Of course it's good. Don't be that
I
way.
worked
Of
so
course it's
hard.
good. What are you afraid of? Don't be afraid. No, it's just very, very strong. Very, very strong. Oh, I love this. So here she is, Lilith, the first woman. I am the voice of my body and soul. I choose the life that I desire to live.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful.
I feel like
Okay,
that's
so
me.
no, huh?
I feel like that's what I'm doing. Living the
There,
life
yes.
I want.
Yes, exactly. Let me find her. There she is. 142. Okay, I need my glasses.
Did you know that I didn't realize that that book had an index in the front with all the number of pages, and I kept searching every single
no.
time. And then I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm gonna do an index thing because there's no way. And I'm doing the lines with the ruler and everything. And then I turn to the front, it's like, oh.
Yeah, it's like the second page. Yeah, because unlike with most Oracle decks are numbered, but
Yeah.
some are not. And this one really, it's not, and it goes
And it's not in order either.
well, it goes
Alphabetical.
in alphabetical order.
In the front, but not through the book, right? Or am I making that up?
No, it does.
Oh,
It
okay.
goes from A's all the way through. Yeah, it does. But still, it's not fun to look for. So yeah, it does have. So page 142 for Lilith. Oh my God, the storm outside is really kicking up. Oh my goodness. It's like tossing hail to my glass. Yeah, it's insane right now. Okay, so here we go. Whew. So Lilith, I am the voice of my body and soul. I choose the life that I desire to live. Oh my gosh, this is so perfect. I love it. Okay, who she is. Lilith embodies our sovereignty to declare our desires and do what must be done in order to live them out. According to Jewish folklore, Lilith was Adam's first wife. She was created from the same earth as Adam. So when he expected her to be subservient to him, she refused. Lilith explained to Adam that they were equal, made by God. So when Adam insisted again on her submission, Lilith uttered the divine names and flew away. Supposedly, Adam sent angels after her to force her to return, but she was with the archangel Samuel, and she desired to remain with him. Ancient Jewish midrash, or retellings of biblical stories, portrayed Lilith as a demon, but contemporary feminist theologians like Judith Plaskow have incorporated women's experiences and women's voices into traditional texts with their own midrash. Plaskow transforms the fearsome, vilified Lilith into a wise, empowered woman. Lilith embodies the emotional and spiritual aspects of our unconscious and unrealized desires, sensuality, and unbridled sexuality. She owns her body and soul completely. For many women, Lilith is an icon of freedom. Lilith is the first woman. She is the woman who refused to be dominated or defined by anyone or anything outside of her. When your soul selects her card, Lilith asks, what would happen if you left everything behind? She wonders what prevents you from getting to experience all that you desire. Is it you? Is it an idea of someone you have to be? Is it society's definition of what it means to be a woman? Lilith asks the question that sometimes never fully reach the light of consciousness. Lilith is unclaimed. She is the ruler of her body and soul, and she reminds us that we are too the ruler of our body and soul. And not only that, we have a sacred obligation to the bodies to be the body's fierce protector. Here, absolutely. If I were entirely equal to everyone else, to every man and every angel, what would I choose for my life? If I see myself as worthy as the first woman ever created by the divine, what more would I ask for? Am I living the life I desire? Am I actually fulfilled sexually in my current relationship? Are there aspects of my sexuality I haven't been able to face and voice? Lilith refused to settle. She answered all these questions within her and took action on the truth she uncovered. Lilith demanded that she meet with what she really desired, and she's here to demand that we all do the same. Oh my God. And so am I, for the record. Soul voice meditation. What does the life I truly desire look like? And intention. I am the voice of my body and soul. I choose the life that I desire to live. Well, if there was ever a card that really signifies and embodies kind of this whole soul quest thing, and I know I keep going back to it, but I'm sorry, I cannot help it. This is such a big, powerful part. Who am I? What do I truly desire? I mean, the program starts with what does my soul want? And we answered that question the other day. I said that came through very clearly. Your soul wants to go home, but what is home? Home is to a human who embraces the totality of themselves, of what they desire, and doesn't shy away from being authentic in those desires, in manifesting and creating from those desires, because those desires come from a place deep within, locked in from our soul, that comes through to the surface. And that is when we're in this state of bliss on a mind, body, and soul level. Nothing is better or greater or sweeter than that. So let's get down to brass tacks, my dear love. These questions here are like with you. Let's see. Let's get organized here with what's coming through. Just give me a second. Yeah, I think that in a lot of ways, it's still the question. The questions are left unanswered with you. What are my desires? Who am I now? What are my next steps? And I'm also this thing about the body, the physical body. And while, I mean, it's this interesting, faceted thing that you particularly have with your body. It's like this. I think the way that you see it as a vehicle, as a vessel for your divine self. But there's also still a bit of separation to the physical body and your connection to it, and you really being grounded in your physical body. It's still not fully like in there. Is that right?
I guess. And especially like lately, I've been feeling very floaty. I've been trying to ground myself.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, there's some. Yeah, I guess floaty is a really good way to put it, because there's this. Okay, so this is kind of, it's multifaceted and kind of deep and a lot as usual. So what's new? Actually, when I come to think about it, it's never just on the surface and simple around here. Uh, so okay, so your focus is up and out and big and upper up, right?
Yeah, I'm
Your
not living on
focus,
Earth. I'm not on
yeah.
Earth.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm never
Exactly.
on
And
Earth.
that's a problem, because you are. Take a look around.
It's so hard to be normal. It's so hard.
Yeah, look who you're talking to. But yes, they're showing me like you're just like it, like you're like all the focus, all the energy is in the upper world, and you're, and that like attention and focus is to connect to all of that up, and the guides and guardians and all the business and the dragon. That's probably why the dragons are like, no,
I don't know. I've been working with them every day. Yeah.
yeah, no, and
It's
that's good.
yeah,
No, go ahead.
I'm very curious about doing the program, the Soul Quest program, because these last 3 years I've been working really hard to kind of figure out what my soul wants. And I
Mm-hmm.
know what my soul wants, but given that so much has transitioned and so many changes, and what we thought was going to happen this year is really not going to happen, I'm kind of just very eager to know where that change and shift is. Like, I know what I want to do, I just don't know how to do it. And I'm just waiting
Right.
for those gifts and those abilities and that stuff to come in. And I feel like the harder I work to go up there, the faster I'll get it. But I'm realizing that no, all I'm doing is causing burden in my life and stress. So I've been trying to calm down and bring me down, bring myself down, ground myself.
Yeah, yeah, very good, very good. Because yes, that is kind of the paradox here. You're thinking, it's interesting because you're thinking in this like in a very logical way, in one sense. You're like, well, if the answers are, up there and spiritual and all this, and that's going to be my focus, and I'm going to not focus so much on like the physical life and my and all of this stuff, because I need the answers from up there. But the problem with that is everything is that takes place, and every move that you make in your life comes through the physical body, comes through that connection to the body, to Gaia, and being grounded here. And she's talked about that a lot. Like, it's one of the hardest things for us divine incarnates awakening and tapping into this or activating that trigger to our soul and our soul destinies, because that just shifts everything. You're like, oh, all right, and everything just like disintegrates and then needs to be rebuilt, and that is the focus. And so she comes through and she's like, look, it's understandable that uh that there is this kind of dissonance here, but the thing is, it's so hard for so many incarnates, angelic or star seed or whatever, however, whatever that we are, um um, is to fully embrace our humanity. And that is your
Boring.
wall. That is your wall, is to embrace your humanity. And like I said, and I have talked about it through her, and she's talked about it on her own, can be very difficult, and that causes a lot of stress, a lot of chaos, a lot of misunderstandings and confusion, and thinking that it's this and it's that. And from, just going back in history, because I know you, so I can, from the time that you came into my world, there was a lot that you were misunderstanding. And you through us working together, things got kind of set right in a lot of ways for you to go, oh, it wasn't that, it was this, okay, that makes sense. And we just kind of went like a conveyor belt through those different things. But still what's left is this disconnect. Okay, so let's just simplify it. Okay, so we talked about how, what does your soul want to, do and fulfill your life, and yada yada yada, blah blah blah. And connecting to the soul, communicating with the soul, and all of that, of course, super duper important, obviously. However, even before that can really take shape and form, and you can have a real clear communication, not only with your soul, but all of your guides and guardians, is the communication relationship that you have, obviously, with yourself, but with your body, the physical body. And the attention that needs to be paid to the communication with your physical body, and being grounded and literally so enamored and in love with that physical beingness of you as a human, and how important that is, because everything gets filtered through that that connection. And because if we're ignoring and misunderstanding and not communicating with our physical body, and in distress physically, because we're
Which
extra
I
tired, we
am.
don't.
I have
Right,
been. I've been doing a
right,
lot of cord cutting, and it's been very helpful, but I'm
good,
still not 100%.
right, yeah. There has been a lot of the physical not feeling right, and a lot of frustration on your part because of it. Just be like, you're literally pissed off at what's going on with you and how you feel in your body. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're showing me that you're, like, you're literally like, if you could walk away from your body and just be like, fuck you, asshole, I'm out of here, you would do it.
No, I just have
Yeah.
no, wait, I have
Like,
a neutral feeling about the body, and I need to, I guess I can remember you had told me this once, that I need to learn to love my body, not just be
yeah,
neutral about it. So
yeah.
I guess I just should go caress myself. But
Oh
yeah.
my god! Oh my god! I forget how much you make me laugh. You crack me up, or I swear to God, I love it. I forgot how much you make me laugh. Yeah, but yeah, because you're like, when I say like fuck you, asshole, I'm out of here. It's kind of like your thing is like, it would just be easier if I didn't have to deal with the physical and all that comes with it. Like, I'm just not like, that's just kind of your like. Like, you still have issues with, like, the bottom line here is that you, like many people who are frustrated with certain aspects of life and humanity, and things in this reality, et cetera, And I, hey, and let me just say for the record, for anybody who doesn't know it, I was definitely one of those people. I hated my body. I absolutely hated my body. I did not want to be in it. I called it a prison. It was this horrible, painful thing because I was chronically ill. I didn't know that I was a medical medium and a psychic and all the shit, and I could feel, and that's why I was feeling what I felt, and blah 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 blah. So I hated my existence, literally, very, very, very deeply. And I was like, God, I, really hope I die by the time I'm 55. And at that point, I was only barely 30, or I was 38 or 39, and that seemed like a really long time. So for the record, I get it. So with that said, the transition from prison to holy place is a beautiful journey, and it's one that I hope that everybody can go on and to understand the importance of it. Because yes, while the connection with soul and with spirit and with guides and guardians, from dragons to archangels to mermaids to fae and everybody in between, that I can connect to and work with, and you can too. If we're not okay in our body, none of that shit matters, period. Because we can receive and we can get visions and we can da 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 da, but if we feel like shit in our body, we're not getting very far. We're just not, because how can we travel, go on these journeys, these expeditions, these adventures with ourself and our soul, if we're feeling like shit in our bodies and we're not fully connected and in love? And you're right, that's a really big thing. Loving the body, really loving your body. And from the bones up, and everything about it is so important, because how we feel in our body is our frequency. It is. And so if we're fighting and not communicating and frustrated with our physical body, so much is not going to be okay.
Yeah, I don't even think, I think it's even past that. I'm not even frustrated. I'm just, it is what it is. I'm so used to it. So I don't focus on it.
Yeah, it's kind
even
of like
think of it.
Yeah, it's kind of like just, yeah. But see, that's the problem.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm glad you're raising it, because I really do need to get to it. I know it's been wanting to talk to me, and I wrote it down on my to-do list. Talk to my body, but I keep forgetting. So yeah, it's on the list.
Well, okay, let's twist that around and let's see that from a different place. Because while you may not be, so hip to get to that on your to-do list, your body is constantly talking to you.
Yeah, saying I'm hurting. And I'm like, I'm trying to heal you, but I don't know what I'm doing.
Right. Yeah, because it's the way that you're obviously feeling the dissonance and why you're not feeling good, but that's not really telling you anything other than things are not right. And you're going, okay, well, I'm going to throw this at it and this at it and this at it and see if it feels better. But let's take it a step further. It's kind of like, what is this kind of like? It's kind of like hearing a siren go off, and then all of a sudden, you got the hose out and you're digging ditches and you're doing all this work for the siren.
That's what I've been doing these last 3 weeks.
And you don't
I'm like, oh wait, I feel better. And then I'm hurting again. I'm like, no, it wasn't that. Then I try the next thing.
Right. Yeah, because you're just like, oh, okay, I'm just going to do all this stuff directly to take care of this emergency. And it's like, what exactly is the message, though? What's the siren telling you?
Tell me, Infinity, tell me. Oh my gosh.
You crack me up. So again, let's scrap the idea of you talking to your body. Your body doesn't want to fucking hear from you anymore. Let's just be clear. Shut the fuck up, lady, and listen to me. Listen to the body. That's how communication works. It's not just that. It's listening as well. So you got to listen to your body. Your body can be, and I've talked about this before, the body can be I'm hungry. I'm tired. I want outside. I need sunlight. I want to get away from that person. I want to go there. I want to look at the pretty, the birdies outside. I like the body is so basic. It's like, I need sleep. I need a bath. I need, and it will talk to you. You just need to listen.
I listened today. That's why I didn't join your show today, because my body said not to. I had a really long day.
Good.
And I took a bath. So.
Perfect. Great. That's fantastic. Okay, good. Okay, perfect. So same thing. So it's not what you want, my dear. It's what your body needs and what your body is telling you. And the more that you listen to the body, and I say this over and over and over again so much, it's like broken record. It's listen to the body. What is your body telling you? Is it tired? Is it saying I'm tired? If it's saying I'm tired, then lay the fuck down. If it's saying I'm hungry, then feed it. If it's saying I need sunlight, then go outside. If it's, you know what I mean? It's like, it's so basic what our body is, because it really is very basic in how it feels. And my body, when my body talks to me, it's not these long drawn out conversations. It's very simple. I hurt in my hips and my back. You need to get up from this desk now and go walk around and go outside and get something to drink. That is what I need. That's how my body talks to me. And I go, you're right. Okay, that's what I'm doing right now. And I give my body what it needs. It is, and as much as we can, let the body be our captain, be the captain of the ship. Because when your body is the captain of the ship, everything else falls in alignment, because you're not in dissonance with your body. You're not being like, oh, why can't I, having such a hard time, writing this article or doing whatever, when 3 hours ago my body was screaming at me to get up, and I'm just like, I don't know, I can't concentrate, and what am I doing, and I'm irritable, and I'm yelling at the cats, and It's like, well, 3 hours ago your body said get up, and you haven't. So now things are not as smooth as they should be. That's just like an example here. So it's about listening. And then, sure, ask questions. What do you need right now? Because there's times you're like, what does my body even want right now? Like, I kind of went through that earlier. I was like, what am I even supposed to? And it finally came through. It's like, oh, we really need to connect and get, receive messages from people. That's what the body wanted. Because I had on the agenda to take a bath. It is the new moon, by the way. I do baths on the new moon, but it was like, no, that's not what my body, my soul, and everything was coming through. It was like,
your body wanted to tell you to tell my body.
Yeah.
To scream at me.
Yeah, obviously. But yeah, so the body will be very, very specific and very direct and very basic in how it communicates with you. And I think sometimes we expect more complex communication and how to fix the body. And what does it's like this big question, like, what is going on with my body? Why is my body doing this? Why, people don't know. They can't communicate with their bodies. They're not paying attention. So they go out to outside sources to try to figure it out. And usually those outside sources are wrong as well. I don't understand why the body is doing what it's doing or feeling what it's feeling. Same thing goes with the mental body, of course, as well. So those two things, the mental body will say also, I'm burnt out. I need a break. I can't process this anymore. This person that's yapping at you and complaining, I can't handle this, get away from it. You still sit there and you go, for 3 more hours, it's just
me.
Yeah, maybe me. Not, no. I'm just saying, like, yeah, maybe not you. But
like, I gotta go. I don't care.
Peace out. I'm out of here. No, but I'm just saying, like, as an example, because then the body will start to get tired because, you're mentally tired. So then you get physically tired. So anyway, let's change the direction of you're so funny. I have it on my to-do list to talk to my body. I just haven't gotten around to that. That is classic. That is classic Vanessa, and absolutely hilarious. That absolutely kills me. um because it's like, well, right there from the very get-go we're off track because it's you talking to your body. So so it's about listening
Oh
to
my
your
god,
body.
that's
This
hilarious.
is probably why you're like, I don't understand, I'm not getting anything right. But when I do talk to my body, and it's because the body is subtle and simple
Oh,
and basic. Again, subtle, simple, basic needs and wants and desires is the body. And those are like the basic things. And then, that's aside from getting into us being, sexual creatures with sexual energy. And we have pleasure points and how we can love our body in a sensual way. That's a whole other thing as well. But let's take it one step at a time and just get into receiving the information from your body. And you can start tomorrow with,
no, right now I'm gonna start
okay,
listening.
okay, good. But also, as a regiment, start tomorrow waking up and feeling into your body and talking to your body. Hi, body. I love you, body. I'm so glad you are my body. And see your body as this other, to be really kind and loving to um seriously, to talk gentle and sweetly and loving and kind, and be supportive and empathetic to your own body is so important. And to check in with your body and just tell your body how much you love him. Yes, I have said that. And if it's been a while since you've done that meditation, the body love meditation, please do that again. And it is available. It's one in a series of 5 on my website, archangelslove.com. If you go to, this is for everybody and anybody who's interested in getting more and being more connected with your body, communicating with your body, loving your body, and really feeling about your body, in like you would your own a baby, and really loving your body. There is a spirit walk that I channeled a couple years ago. Let me tell you where to go on my website. Okay, so if you go to archangelslove.com and you go to the more section, at the far menu, and towards the bottom there, or towards the middle, it says channeled spirit walk meditations. And the body love one is, and it's body love and connecting with your guardian angel. So it's multi-layered there with this one. And there are other ones that are in this kind of grouping. There is the abundance and healing the money wound, body love and meet with your guardian angel, the importance of astral meditation, one as well, rebirthing the inner child, heal fear, shame, guilt, judgment, unworthiness, and imposter syndrome associated with money, fear, shame, guilt, and judgment. That is a big one, probably the most popular one that I've put out. But you can do these independently, or you do them in order. But the body love and meet with your guardian angel really gets you in a place to connect with your body and to see and feel your body in a whole new way. I know that you've done it before, but maybe it's time to do it again with just this new kind of reimagining of yourself that you're in right now. And really, I'd say lastly, Vanessa, the importance that you put on the connection with your soul is the same weight of importance that needs to be put with your connection with your body. And I think if you kind of reimagine that for yourself, because you're so determined and you're so powerful, that just that shift in understanding, I think, will make this whole thing
Oh
just
yeah, I'm coming back.
Slip and slide. Good. And we still have a couple of weeks before the Soul Quest program begins, and I think working with yourself and starting now with this, by the time we start with that, you're gonna feel so much better. I know it. I absolutely know it.
So do you think that if I start, when I'm gonna do it, obviously, but the body pain will help, like, go away, or?
Yes. Yep. Whatever is, because once you start, when your body is in pain, that means there's some block, some resistance, some energy form, something going on there that isn't in flow. And it's telling you that pain is saying, the pain, the chronic illness, the headaches, the stomach, whatever that it is, that is the red flag saying we have a problem here.
Yeah, my
Something
sciatica. My husband laughs at me. He goes, well, "You don't have sciatica." I'm like, "Yeah, I do." It really hurts.
Yeah, well, if you have sciatica, then yeah, and that is a nerve block. It's a pinch in that nerve, and yeah, it does hurt really bad. I have had that, thank goodness, not for a very, very long time. But I was chronically ill. I did have a multitude of ways my body was in pain and didn't work. And I mean, I could spend the next hour going over it. It was so much. But let's not forget, my dear, that your body, while you're not like off the charts physical empath, you are moderately physical empath, which means that you feel in your body, and you process through your body what other people, and it doesn't even have to be anybody near you either. And that is a part of the pie for you still, that hasn't been, that you haven't been able to control. And once, the more that you work with your body and connect with your body, and start to be able to have this back and forth communication with your body, backed up by your guides and guardians coming in with the more complex information, be able to say, is this my body? Is this you? Is this us that this pain is originating from, or is this something else? And this is where this is a big hurdle, that you have yet to get past, right?
Yeah, because I didn't think of it. So it was on my to-do list, but I didn't realize, I didn't think it, I thought it was energetic completely.
You thought what was energetic?
The pain in my body.
Well, it is, but what do you mean by that, in terms of what I just said about it could be other people? I mean, I'm confused.
Oh, no. I understand what you mean by that. You're right. I haven't fully controlled it. Yeah.
Okay. So, but it all kind of is interweaved together with the communication. So the more we first off, the more we're on the same side as our body, and an advocate for our body, and communicating and listening to our body, the more and the easier we can decipher what is going on with the body. Is it me? Is it other? Is it just energy coming through, and I need to control that better, and kind of, is it somebody? I mean, again, the purpose of being energetically sensitive, being an empath, being a physical empath, to whatever degree that we are, is to receive information. If that information comes in when we're not asking for it, then it can be obtrusive. And then when it's obtrusive, we need to investigate, why are you here? Why suddenly is my body doing this? Why am I feeling this? And then going, oh, it is me, it is my body because of XYZ, or no, it is that other thing. And then working with your body to disconnect from whatever that is. And that just takes, all of that takes time and practice and patience, and yes,
Awareness.
the habit of remembering all of that, to do all of that stuff, until it becomes second nature, because it won't always be so cumbersome and kind of like, rough and tumble kind of thing. It'll just be bam, 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 because you got used to communicating and understanding and checking in and going just boom, boom, boom through it all. Because let's not forget, for me, as an off the chart psychic, physical empath, medical medium, blah, 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 that I was always constantly feeling like shit and in pain in some way, for some degree, for some reason. I had no idea why. I thought it was all me. And when it became clear and I healed from, the energy that was stuck within me, and I could understand what I could tap into and feel, then it was a matter of kind of like learning to fly a helicopter, learning the controls, learning how this works, and feeling in my body. And we all have a certain way that our body is, kind of is set off, what I call the soft spots, that will naturally be set off. For a lot of us, it'll be in our lower back and everything surrounding the lower back area. For some of us, it's in our throat. For some of us, it's in our joints. It just kind of depends. Usually we have 1 to 3 places that are the ones that pop off first. And it's to recognize what that is, aside from the general stuff, like the uncontrollable sudden tiredness and yawning that just hits us like a wave out of nowhere. That is the physical body communicating. There's something in the atmosphere. Somebody will play, maybe you just went into someplace, maybe somebody just came into your field, but there's an imbalance of energy, and your body is feeling that, and it's letting you know, like a little siren. All of a sudden you're feeling heavy and tired and exhausted. Pay attention to that. Like, that's just one example. I could, sit here for 5 hours and go into it, and we have talked about a lot of these things, you and I think it's just a point in you kind of coming full circle with this, and just kind of going back to, kind of point A in a lot of ways with stuff, because I think in certain ways you've grown and expanded so much, but again, that's like the up stuff, and kind of left the physical behind. And so it's just about like, oh yeah, like I think maybe there's a piece of you that was like, well, that's like, you know easy or whatever. That's just that's not anything to really like. I don't want to put words in, like, I don't want to put up upon you anything, but just by knowing you and us talking, it's kind of like, well, yeah, like, that's so basic. I think that's kind of what it is, because you like complex thinking, you like the big stuff, you like the right. you're
That's the air
you're
in me.
yeah. Yeah, and so you're like, ugh, it's like almost like dirt. You're like, how exciting is dirt? Like, really? Like, I get the importance of dirt because it grows shit and blah 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 blah. But you're like, I like the more complex stuff. Like, I like, and it's like, but everything comes from the dirt, and it requires your attention and your honor as much as those is the dirt, and let's say the sacred geometry, just as important. You're the dirt, by the way. So see yourself as that. No, like, seriously, that's what the vision that I'm getting. So if you can see yourself like as like this beautiful glass crystal vase, and this dirt inside of it, and instead of being like, oh, there's dirt inside my vase, just be like, oh my God, there's dirt inside my vase. What amazing, miraculous minerals and even water is in that dirt. And you know what you see what I'm trying to put down here is like, there's such beauty within the physical body and the mechanics of it and the complexity, but also the simplicity of it, that I find absolutely fascinating. And I think once you tap into that for yourself, it's going to shift, and you're going to see that it is there is so much more there than what we see maybe on the surface, I guess is what I'm getting at. That's really going to get you excited about your own humanity and your own body and working with it in a way that's going to be super exciting for you, because it's going to like finally click. And that is so exciting. It's kind of like, being able to um ride a horse or something, something to that. It's like once it's like,
I love
you,
those moments. Like, ah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, they're great. They're really great because it's such a connection with yourself. It's such a uh, I guess just that real understanding of your of your evolution of experiencing yourself in a different way is exciting, because it's like being able to step into the next level because of that, I guess, is the best way to put it. I don't know, maybe I'm getting tired, I'm having a hard time verbalizing that, but anyway, I know that for you and the way that your mind works, I think that you've kind of seen it as like the way that you would be like, oh, this toddler has this thing, and you put the square and the circle and the, you know what I mean, and the triangle and the corresponding boxes, and you're like, oh my god, how freaking boring. Like, I think, but the reality is that it's this beautiful complex geometry there that is going to be so um enticing for you to get deeper and deeper and deeper with, because of that, just because of just being like, oh, it was just like, oh, I just thought of it that way, but now I see it this way. And that excites me because um well, you and a lot of people, a lot of us, like, if it's like, if we don't get it, or if it's not clicking, or we don't understand it, or we're bored by it, or it doesn't entice us or excite us or light us up in some way, we're like, there's so many other things that do. And and I think for you, again, there's been these other things that do, and this can be just like that as well, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So anyway, I guess that's it, my love. Any other questions or any comments or anything like that you want to share to sum this up, my love?
No, just this has been very helpful. I really appreciate it, and I will work on all that.
Good.
And I will keep you posted.
Good. I'm glad. I'm really glad. And just, remember, listening, and then get into the habit of listening first and then responding. So, like, what the body is talking about, and then that will graduate to a real communication between you and your body in a really beautiful way. Like, I didn't know that I could talk to my body until I was talking to my body, and I was like, holy shit, my body's literally talking to me. It's not, really complex. It's pretty simple, but I never even knew that I could have a simple conversation with my body. And then once I did, and then I started paying attention and listening to what my body wants, and it's not, I'm not saying I'm 100%. I'm not. Sometimes I put off what my body wants, and I do ignore it. I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty good at it. And I've understood for a long time now that life is easier the more I pay attention, listen, and communicate, and give my body what it wants. And I love my body and revere my body, and I talk well and good and lovingly about my body. So I don't look in the mirror and say horrible things to myself because, my skin has whatever, or, I'm 50 and I look older, or my body is a little bit more flabby than I want, or, I have some cellulite or whatever. I look at my body and I go, damn, this body is amazing. This body's amazing, what it does and what it can do and everything that's with it. And I love it. And I want to nurture it, and I want to make it feel good. So I want to put things on it and in it that are good for my body, good for me. I want to eliminate anything that is poisonous, that is not, that it doesn't make my body feel good and feel young and lift my life force. That's a big part of it too. What do we consume? What are we giving our body to? What is part of that life force? That's another assessment to get into for yourself. And do I ignore my body when I know I shouldn't be drinking or eating whatever, and I
I
do it
gave up
anyway?
drinking.
You did
4
good.
months sober.
Yes, perfect. I
Wait,
love
yeah,
it.
going in
I
4
love
months, 3 months.
good, good. And
Yeah.
what about the meat and the dairy and stuff like
Mm.
that?
I think my body still wants the dairy and the meat. I'm pretty sure. I'll let you know what I come back with.
So I don't think so. I think this is probably your biggest crutch here, that your biggest denial with yourself. And no, I take that back. I don't think, I know. And that's okay, because these things are big. And I think that maybe the way that you've seen that is a very black or white kind of situation.
No, I know that I need to let it go. I'm not ready for it yet. But it's been in the queue for years now. Just pulling the plug I'm not there yet.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. I think you see it as a very black and white situation. Like I either still, it's like either it's kind of like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna go cold turkey, and I'm not gonna, consume meat or dairy anymore. And that is a major turnoff. And your body doesn't want that either, by the way, because that's very shocking to the system. And my advice to anybody, and just so people understand when and why it's important to not drink alcohol or to eat meat and dairy, is because of the energy that's associated with those things and what it puts your body through. So with meat, fish included, poultry included. I know some people just think of meat as like red meat. When I say meat, I mean all animal and dairy. What's in that meat and attached energetically to cheese and milk and all that stuff is energy that is pain and and from lives that are um being used in ways and lives cut short. And when we have pieces of that energy by way of what we are using to fuel us, because we eat for energy to fuel our body. That's how we stay alive, through the consumption of water and liquid to keep us hydrated, and through the act of putting different proteins in our body to keep us energized. And generally speaking, when it comes to what we consume through meat and dairy, specifically, it's attached to animals who have suffered and are in pain. So you're putting that energy into your body, and I guarantee you that your body does not want it, that it's you as the
I
human
know. It
who
was
is
a joke.
okay, well, that it's you as a human who wants that, because you're literally addicted to it. Meat and dairy have enzymes in it that hit or that make our gut go gimme, gimme, gimme. It's an addiction. Since we were like 6 months old, we've been eating meat and having dairy. We're used to it. We crave it. It smells good. It tastes good. Yes, I agree to all of that. But what's good for our body? No, it's not good for our body. And our body then gets heavy with this energy. That's why people say, oh, when I eat meat or when I consume, alcohol, whatever, I get really heavy. I get really tired. Why? Because you're putting this heavy, painful, suffering energy in your body, and your body's going, holy shit. So now I got to process this along with everything else that we've held on to. And that then the body has to disperse that energy throughout. And depending on your predisposition, what does it do? Does it give you a headache? Does it give you a stomach ache? The closer you get to your body rejecting it more and more, the more uncomfortable you'll be sooner than later through that consumption, which means it's not going to take hours for your stomach to be upset if you eat some meat. Like, it's going to be pretty quick. You're going to feel heavy. The battery is
died. But anyway, the body will tell us in those ways how we how that's affecting us. And with some people, like with some, in some ways it could be so quickly, like you just ate and you get nauseous or you have diarrhea, like the body wants it out real quick. Sometimes it may be more with than others, or it could be a stomach ache or whatever. But anyway, back to this cold turkey business and just not doing it anymore. And how that works. So what I suggest people to do, especially when, even if your body's still tolerating it, but like, I really shouldn't be doing this. It isn't good for me. And I really want to eliminate meat and dairy from my diet, is to look at your overall consumption, in a day and then in a week. How many meals consist of having meat and dairy in those meals? And if it is 3 meals a day, every single day of the week, like many, many people, then eliminate one of those meal components in that a day. Does that make sense? So you still have 2 meals a day that do consist of meat. And with those 2 meals a day, maybe have a little less and like up the veggies and up the grains and a little bit, so then that way, after a few weeks, then it's like 1 meal a day for a week or two. Okay, now this week I'm going to just have 1 meal a day with meat and see how that feels. And then, so now you're not shocking the body or yourself. You're learning how to eat without meat in every meal. And it's a tapering off. It's a nice, gentle tapering off that can take up to a month or more. It may, like, after a couple of weeks, you just be like, oh, I just, like, if I have something, I really don't want it, because you're giving your body that break. So try, marinate on that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to flip everything completely, because I don't eat grains. I do no carbs, no sugar. So a lot of my meals is protein and then veggies. So I'm going to have to figure out like how to go about that without eating grains.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm having, now that I don't have the thing, I'm having a really hard time hearing you. That's why I use those. That sucks that it died. God, I wonder if the left one, or is it both of them have died? Let me try to use this one. Hold on 1 second, because I literally cannot hear you. Here. Hello?
Hello? Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
Can you repeat that? I heard you say something about sugar.
Oh, yeah. I do no grains, no sugar. So most of my meals are protein and veggies. So like I'm going to have to flip everything. I need to figure that out. It'll be drastic.
Okay. Yeah. So it is a flip. But there are so many ways. I went through the same thing. Like, my body rejecting meat happened like real hard, real fast. And I used to eat meat all I knew is how to cook with meat in pretty much every meal. That's how life was for me. Until my body was just like not having it. And I was like, I'm not prepared for this. I don't even know how to cook without, like, what am I doing? Like, it was so drastic and so fast. And I I did not, in my experience, I could not ease into it. It was very, very fast. And I had to learn how to cook as a vegan. I didn't know how to do that, and it does take some getting used to, but like, again, there's so many resources online, so many vegetarian recipes and ways that you can, see it as an adventure to learn and to treat and to be new with yourself, and how that can be a very exciting thing as well. And just know that when you do that, just your body will feel better. It will. Everything is gonna be moving easier and better and faster, because that heaviness of that energy is not going to be a part of it, because it will cause pain, and it's just the way that the body processes that energy. I mean, pain is pain. So, you know what I mean? So it absolutely will. You'll see that. And again, just eliminate one meal a day and then see how that feels. So it's not like, okay, all of a sudden I'm not doing this across the board. That's just way too shocking to the system. It doesn't, it's hard. That's way too hard. So any questions about any of that? Any?
No, I leave very sad.
Aw.
I have more homework to do.
Don't be sad. You have direction. Yes.
I've been wanting it, so
Good.
I'm not complaining.
Good. Yeah, sure. A lot of work, but what else have you got to do other than you and working for you and refining you, that's good stuff. So, okay, love, thank you so much for being here, for receiving all of this, and for cracking me up like you always do. I love you dearly, my dear.
I love you too.
And of course, more to come as always. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow in the live.
Sounds good. Thank you so much. Appreciate
You're
it.
very welcome, love. Bye for now. Okay, my dears, I'm going to check in with the chat. We're going to, as soon as I get my love off of here. Of course, that's glitchy. Is it? It's also like this when I try to end a show. It's not awkward. I'm like, okay, bye. And then like 3 minutes later, I'm like, oh my God, it's not letting me end the show. We're almost there. It's thinking. And then I do know that we had some chats come through. So I'm going to go ahead and read the chats as soon as this comes. There we go. Okay. Remove from stage. Bye-bye. Maybe. I think, possibly. It's like I'm not doing anything. So, there we go. All right. So sorry I haven't checked in here with the chat in a while. Oh gosh, a while ago, Leticia said, oh my God, that's the card I got like 2 weeks ago. Oh, she must be talking about this, the Lilith card. I think anyway, it's been a while. Perfect. Oh, I'm so good. Yay. Guys have been chatting in here. Sorry, I haven't checked in. Yes, I can also highly recommend the Evolve Now program. It's a real game changer. It is. The Evolve Now program is a real game changer. Very limited availability for that, but it is pretty awesome. And then Holly said, chronic pain and sick always, have had some empath abilities and it scared the shit out of me. Well, are you still here, my dear Holly? Is Holly still here? Yes, she is. Okay, very cool. So my love, Holly, I understand about it scaring the shit out of you, but you are what you are. If you have chronic pain and illness and you're constantly in that state of being, the chances of you being a physical empath are really, really good. and to see it as a gift, because truly empaths are humans 2.0, because we can feel in and get information, receive energetically, psychically, spiritually through our body and through our bodies, gives us more information than people who cannot. So it is a gift, but it is something that we need to learn and refine and forge for ourselves. And one thing that I suggest you doing is knowing for sure where you fall on the empath spectrum or scale. And you can go to my website, archangelslove.com, and right there, let me tell you, at the top, it says testimonials, quizzes, ebook, the empath quiz. So go and take the empath quiz. It's 51 questions, yes or no, super easy. You should be able to be done with it in like 10 minutes. Will tell you where you fall on the empath scale and what that means for you and how to go about life, starting from that awareness. Because if you're an empath, then your entire experience as a human and how you perceive life and people and your own physical body and how good or how bad it feels is a direct correlation to how it is that you are an empath and what you feel. So like I talked about being very sick, chronically ill, yada, yada, yada. I had fibromyalgia to the nth degree. My body was always in a state of chaos and turmoil and just generally feeling like shit and in pain from the time I was very, very little. And nobody understood or made the connection from my psychic abilities to my physical problems. And it wasn't until I was basically 43 years old, I'm 50 now, that I understood what this was all about. Because the awareness of empaths, much less physical empaths, is very, very low. It's not out there for people. And so you kind of have to find that. And I hope that this helps you, because the chronic pain and illness and whatever you got going on does not need to be the state that you live in. It's about understanding the energy and clearing and healing the energy that's trapped within the body for however many years that you've been on this planet, and then working to understand it and be with your body in a whole new way. And so anyway, please do that. I'm going to go back here and see if we have anything else. That was for Holly. Let's see. Oh, Margarita broadcasted to the world. Thank you so much, my dear Margarita. If you're still here, who is here? Yes, Margarita. We have Wobbles, Laura's still here, Logan, Annette, Lyra, Veronica, Ashley, Leticia. Oh my gosh, there's so many people here. Nancy, thank you guys so much. Georgia, hello, Georgia. So thank you all for being here. I love this so much. So glad we were guided to do this tonight. I'm going to open up the chat here one more time. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Let's go to the top. Thank you so much for all of your comments. Okay, let's go down here. Need to go to bed. Good night. Good night, Leticia. She left a while ago. Okay. Holly says, my empath abilities got me kicked out of church for predicting something out loud. Then it happened 10 minutes later. So they kicked me out of church. Lovely. Lovely. I'm so sorry that happened to you, sweetheart. That's very a la witch trials and witch hunts, and it's very unfair, but people get afraid of the unknown and what they don't understand. And I hope that you're able to heal from that, and instead of feeling pushed out and separate, that you can find a community here with us. All we are is just a bunch of empaths trying to figure it out and connect to ourselves and spirit and everything. So the website is archangelslove.com. It's also in my profile. So if you click on my picture, well, not me, but anybody else. If you click on anybody, if you click on my picture, my profile will open up and there's actually a link there to my website. I actually have two websites, archangelslove.com and thehealingbutterfly.org. I mentioned that earlier. If you go to thehealingbutterfly.org, it's basically a resource center about energy and the energetic body and all of that. So that is a great place to go. I suggest seeing about, I want to close this, looking at the section that says info and distance healing, and read where it says your energy body, energy chakra, energy centers and chakras. Even if you've already gotten maybe this information from other sources, please read what mine is, because it's different, I guess. Or, you know, if this is your first rodeo when it comes to all of that. But again, archangelslove.com, and you can get to, and also the other one too, thehealingbutterfly.org, and they connect back and forth to each other. So there you go. And there's so many free resources there. And again, I'm here every day this month, Monday through Friday, 12 to whenever we're done. They've been about an hour and a half, 2 hours long. Again, some energy information, what we call energy update, because we have so much going on. We had the equinox yesterday, we have the new moon today, in a couple days we have the galactic portal, and then this all gears up for the Soul Quest program. I did a standalone show the other day for the Soul Quest program. You're very welcome, my dear, for the Soul Quest program. So if you're interested in that, for any of you lovely beings that are here, in learning more about the Soul Quest program, please take a look at the website. So the information is there, but also there's this show that I did on Fireside that I get into it. One thing that I want to say that hasn't been updated for the program yet is that I will take payments. I will take 2 payments if that makes things easier. If so, please, if you're interested in that, please send a message through the website, if that's not set up yet, but that will be set up in the next couple of days. I was just guided to do that to hopefully make things easier for everybody who wants to join. It is a 9-week program. It comes with lifetime access to the Soul Quest program forum, and the live shows that I'll be doing. I'm going to have a companion podcast as well. And of course, the program itself. So it's going to be pretty awesome. It's all about connecting with your body and your soul, and answering those questions. And on the website, what I have there, where is it? Oh, that is, where are we? There we go. Very simply, you know, the big questions that we ask ourselves, and that is, you know, what does my soul want? What is my true identity? What is my life purpose? What are my soul missions and destinies? And even a question that many people don't ask, but that we will be asking and answering in the program, is, what is your spirit name? My spirit name is Infinity. That is not my given name. It is my spirit name. It's to remind me and everybody that we are infinite in our nature, and we are infinite souls. There is an encodement there with the way that I spell it with the 1. So it's 4 ones. The 1111 activation is embedded into my spirit name. But it came through last month that as we connect with our soul, answer these questions, that we get to our true identity, to live life authentically, like Lilith talked about today. And honestly, all of the oracle messages that we've gotten since we started this on the 13th has really backed this up, and has been all about connecting with our soul and being authentic, and living life through that framework. So, and how we talked about earlier with Leticia, and for anybody who missed our first pull read with Leticia, it was absolutely was really awesome, and we get into that more. But this is a time that has been carved out for me to facilitate for all of us, as many that are guided to join in this wonderful journey that we're going to be taking on, is really this, answering these questions for ourselves and connecting with our soul so we can live and be and move forward in our lives with purpose and understanding and having ourselves prioritized in ways that we have never had before for us, me included. I'm going to be on the quest with you all as well. So anyway, that will be it for now, for today. Again, I want to thank everybody. There's so many people here. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so excited to have had all of you here to be with me and participate and watch this show. Lyra, Holly, Vanessa, Georgia, Leticia, Margarita, Wobbles, Laura, Logan, Annette, Veronica, Ashley, Leticia, Bree, and Nancy. Thank you so much for being here for this show and holding space and being part of this circle. Thank you so much. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night, everybody. I hope to see all of you, if you can, tomorrow at the Daily Spirit Show at 12 o'clock Pacific. Thank you. And again, the websites, if you have any, to learn more about me, what I do, and all of where I'm at, I have articles on Medium, and of course these shows as well. Okay, guys, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. Mwah. Until next time, bye for now. Okay, let's see if I can end the show. We shall see. Let's do it. Bye, everybody. Yay. Okay, I think that worked. Slowly but surely. Sweet dreams, everyone. Sweet dreams. Told you. It doesn't want me to go. I want to go. Yeah, I know. Can't. Won't let me. End this show. Yes, let me end this show. Ay. Oh my God. I can't. This is cracking me up. I can't. It won't let me end the show. I've tried like 8 times. It won't. Okay, this time for sure. Okay, I don't know what to say. It won't let me end the show. I can't. It won't. And I can't just close the app. It doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. Hope you guys are finding this really amusing. Help! Fireside gods, please. I want to put out the fire. I want to get something to eat and, go pee and hang out. I was going to take a bath tonight. I don't know. Seems kind of late. It's 22:22. For a solid 2 minutes, I've been trying to end this show. Oh my God. I love you, technology, but sometimes Oh my God. Yes, I'm sure. End show. Yes. Bye.